Master, you're finally awake, aren't you? I've painstakingly prepared a breakfast full of love, just for you, staring at the breathtakingly seductive witch standing right before me. Clad in pitch-black attire, I was so utterly paralyzed with fear that my entire body went numb. Who on earth are you? Am I trapped in some kind of dream? The witch dressed in black spoke with absolute, unwavering sincerity. Master, just last night, we were passionately entwined together. How could you have forgotten so easily? Beholding her completely serious expression, I found myself entirely at a loss for words. Suddenly, a vivid memory from last night flashed through my mind. Xiao Tian, the regular client who frequently hires me to carry him in games, had sent me an unexpected gift for my 18th birthday. Upon opening it, it revealed a stunning, life-size figure of a seductive witch. The texture and feel of it were almost entirely indistinguishable from a real human being. Sending you a figure to celebrate your coming of age. Bro tomorrow, keep carrying me up the ranks. At that exact moment, a soft voice echoed right beside my ear once again. Master, have you remembered me yet? I am Xiaolan, you know. Xiaolan. Xiaolan let both of her hands hang loosely by her sides, the black and white striped dress fitting perfectly smooth against her waist. I reached up to scratch the back of my neck, my eyes scanning the room suspiciously. You and Boss Xiao Tian are working together to pull a prank on me, aren't you? While I was fast asleep. You swapped out the figure and had you dress up like this to sneak in here. There's bound to be a hidden camera somewhere nearby, right? Come on out already. Stop playing around. Xiaolan looked deeply aggrieved, her eyes welling up with tears, as she sniffled softly. Master, I really am your Xiaolan. Xiaolan never wants to be left all alone inside that dark box ever again. Xiaolan is absolutely terrified of the dark. Su Den Li, Xiaolan, grabbed my hand and firmly placed it right over her heart. With an unshakable gaze, she said, Master, feel it for yourself. Xiaolan possesses a real heartbeat. I yanked my hand back instantly, as if struck by a massive jolt of electricity. Look, miss, you gotta stop messing with me. There's absolutely no need to take your acting role this seriously. I believe you, all right? Xiaolan instantly choked back her tears and beamed a bright smile. I knew Master was the absolute best. You won't ever ship Xiaolan back, right? Xiaolan suddenly lunged straight into my embrace, wrapping her arms tightly around my waist, her silky hair softly brushing against my neck. Her breath carried a faint, mesmerizing fragrance. My gaze went completely blank, and both of my hands hovered awkwardly in midair, utterly clueless as to where I should place them. This incredibly vivid sensation. Could it actually be real? Is it truly possible that she transformed from a mere figure into a living being? I gently pushed her back a bit, my expression turning dead serious as I narrowed my eyes. Just what exactly were you doing in the kitchen? Why didn't you wake me up? Xiaolan saw that Master stayed up so incredibly late last night working on his writing, and I simply couldn't bear to disturb your precious rest. So I gathered the instant noodles and eggs I found inside the kitchen and whipped up a fresh bowl of egg noodles for you. Xiaolan held out a pair of pristine chopsticks with both hands, tenderly presenting them directly to Jibada. Master, if you leave noodles sitting for too long, they'll completely bloat and ruin. Please, hurry up and eat while it's hot. I practically bolted back into my bedroom, my frantic footsteps echoing loudly. This absolutely has to be a twisted prank. I need to demand answers from Boss Xiao Tian right this. Instant. Wait, why hasn't Boss replied to my messages yet? What on earth are you talking about? Did the message fail to send? No, it wasn't Boss's doing after all. Then who in the world is she? Master, may Xiaolan please come inside? I swiftly darted right over to the doorway, firmly planting both of my hands onto Xiaolan's shoulders. You stay right there. My gaze locked tightly onto Xiaolan's eyes, my brow furrowed in deep suspicion, trying to read her true intentions. Xiaolan playfully bit her pinky finger, her cheeks flushing a vivid crimson blush. Her eyes darted away shyly, yet they still carried an undeniable sense of intense anticipation. Master, are you finally ready to thoroughly inspect Xiaolan's body now? Xiaolan is actually getting a little nervous. I instinctively stumbled back 2 steps. Oh, good grief. My hands braced desperately against the bed right behind me, my eyes completely wide with utter shock. Xiaolan's breathing grew heavy and rapid, her complexion turning brighter and pinker by the second. She slowly and deliberately closed the distance toward Jibada. Master, should we do it right here, or would you prefer to get onto the bed? My foot completely slipped, and I fell flat on my back onto the mattress. Hold on, I am absolutely not prepared for this. Xiaolan boldly straddled Jibada's waist, staring down at him with eyes full of pure infatuation. Master, let us escape to the shores of absolute bliss together. Shall we? Suddenly, the doorknob from the outside twisted with a sharp click. Ji Xiaoyu pushed the door wide open, a bright smile on her face. She was mid-sentence when she instantly froze dead. In her tracks, her eyes glued to the scandalous scene unfolding on the bed. Brother. I slammed both of my hands over my face in sheer horror. My entire body freezing stiff. Xiaolan tilted her head toward the doorway, her eyes filled with utter confusion. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Ji Xiaoyu frantically covered her eyes, quickly spinning around to slam the door shut. Ji Xiaoyu's hands trembled violently as she dialed a video call on WeChat, her cheeks burning hot and her breath catching in her throat. My brother. He has finally crossed the threshold into adulthood. Back in the bedroom, I lay completely paralyzed on the bed, covering my face as my shoulders shook in absolute despair. I'm completely finished. My reputation is officially ruined. Xiaolan crawled off of Jibada's body, her fair, porcelain cheeks turning slightly pale, puffed up instantly like an incredibly irritated hamster. Her glare firmly directed right toward the door, carrying a clear hint of deep resentment. Just who was that person from earlier? How incredibly obnoxious to go and interrupt our perfect moment like that. I finally pulled my hand away from my face and began rubbing my aching temples. I gently patted the edge of the mattress right beside me. That was my younger sister, Ji Xiaoyu. Why don't you come over here and sit down first? Xiaolan smoothed out the hem of her maid outfit and gracefully sat herself down right next to Jibada, her cascading silver hair draping softly over her shoulders. My gaze lingered intently on the captivating, heart-shaped pupils of Xiaolan. Xiaolan, are you actually a living human being now, or are you something else entirely? Xiaolan sopti mumut. Xiaolan only remembers being trapped inside that dark box for the longest time. At first, I had all my sisters there chat and keep me company, but one by one, they were all purchased and taken away by other people. In the end, I was left entirely on my own. It was so agonizingly dark and freezing cold. Xiaolan's eyes welled up with a crimson tint, her voice choking up with emotion. My eyes suddenly widened in realization as I leaned my body slightly forward, firmly gripping Xiaolan's shoulders. Wait a damn minute. Did you just say you have other sisters? Are you telling me they can actually speak too? Can they also move around freely just like you? Xiaolan shook her head, her gaze appearing completely dazed and hazy. I swiftly grabbed a random anime figure from my computer desk and thrust it directly in front of Xiaolan's face. Xiaolan stared intently at the figure, her expression turning dead serious. We communicate solely through our thoughts, so I honestly don't even know how I managed to move my own body. This morning, I simply felt a desperate urge to touch Master's face, and then my hand suddenly just moved on its own. My face flushed a violent crimson, and I instinctively averted my gaze, the figure nearly slipping right through my trembling fingers. My mind was absolutely racing. Good grief. So you guys are actually conscious inside those boxes. Xiaolan tightly locked her arms around Jibada's arm. Master, please promise you won't ever ship Xiaolan back. Pretty please? Xiaolan only ever wants to stay right by Master's side. I reached out and gently stroked Xiaolan's silky silver hair. Of course, I won't. From this moment on, you're staying right here with me. Yay! Xiaolan absolutely adores Master the most. I sat down in front of my PC, my fingers swiftly darting across my phone screen. I absolutely had to cross-examine Boss regarding the true origin of this bizarre figure. The screen lit up, displaying a heavily mocking text message from Boss, and right beneath it was the official link to the online store. Holy crap, this jaw-dropping price tag is absolutely outrageous. My eyes locked onto the screen as my fingers flew across the keyboard at lightning speed. Is this specific figure model still in stock? Could you possibly provide me with its detailed specifications? The customer service representative promptly replied that this exact, full-option limited edition model was completely sold out worldwide. Directly below, they attached the comprehensive lore and data sheet for Xiaolon. The Bound Witch, 18-year-old maid edition. Flawless in the living room, a master chef in the kitchen, and intensely loyal to the bitter end. So this is what her character setting is actually like. Every single penny spent on this was absolutely worth it. Xiaolon, clad in her pristine, maid uniform, swiftly and gracefully swept the floor. I pulled out a spare smartphone from my desk drawer. This phone is for you. From now on, if anything happens, you can just call or text me directly. Xiaolon carefully accepted the smartphone with both hands, looking deeply touched. Master, once you head off to college, will you only be able to be with Xiaolon during the nights and weekends? Is there any way you could stay by Xiaolan's side continuously? I pulled up a chair for Xiaolon to sit down. Here, let me teach you how to use it. It's incredibly simple. With that, the slender, delicate fingers of Xiaolon began swiping rapidly across the screen. I picked up my own phone to check, only to see a brand new friend request with the attached note. Xiaolon adores Master the most. The corner of my mouth twitched violently. Wow, you are aggressively straightforward, aren't you? Now that we're officially connected, I bent down and dragged the cardboard box that contained Xiaolon out from underneath the bed. The shipping label was still firmly stuck to it. Let's use this to temporarily store your personal belongings for now, all right? Master, I'm completely terrified of that thing. It's going to trap me inside again. Seeing her panic, I immediately shoved the cardboard box right back underneath the bed. Turning back around, I gently and reassuringly patted Xiaolan's back. It's okay, it's okay. Master is right here with you. It won't ever dare to lock you up again. Master is truly the most dependable person ever. Xiaolon absolutely adores Master the most. Oh my goodness, this cake is so incredibly sweet. Xiaolon is utterly blissful. If you love it, eat as much as you want. I'm not particularly fond of sweets anyway. Oh, I'm so sorry, Master. I completely lost my manners. Xiaolon, why don't you go take a shower first? I need to focus on my writing for a bit. Master, let's take a bath together. I truly want to help wash Master's body. I frantically waved my hands in absolute panic. Let's definitely discuss that at a later date. Go take your shower first, all right? Be a good girl. The bathroom door slowly clicked shut, followed by the soothing sound of running water. I slumped into my gaming chair, staring blankly at the completely empty text document. My fingers hovered helplessly right over the keyboard, but I couldn't press a single key. My mind was an absolute chaotic mess, making it entirely impossible to focus. Xiaolon stepped out wearing a soft pink silk pajama set, her damp, silver hair gently dripping stray droplets of water. Master, your precious Xiaolon is completely finished with her bath. My eyes were instantly glued to her figure. Good grief, how am I supposed to resist this? Xiaolon slipped off her cozy slippers and stepped on a bed with her bare, smooth feet. Master, hurry up and join me. Tonight, I want to hold Master tightly as we sleep. Dee-ba. He reached out and clicked off the main ceiling light, plunging the bedroom into darkness as he cautiously fumbled around, lying down on the absolute edge of the mattress. Honestly, sharing a bed with a stunning girl for the very first time felt incredibly overwhelming. Master, shall we finally resume that unfinished business from this morning? Look, we've only known each other for barely 2 days. We should definitely take things slow and get to know one another first. But I already understand Master completely. I know that Master is an exceptionally kind soul. I followed Xiaolan's lingering gaze as she peeked over at the collection of anime figures lining my desk. All right, I completely forgot. You can literally communicate with them telepathically, can't you? Yes, all my sisters back in the warehouse have taught Xiaolon an absolute wealth of knowledge. Xiaolon will definitely make Master feel pure bliss tonight. Wait, those figurine friends of yours that you mentioned. How on earth could they possibly know about stuff like that? Well, a few of my sisters were forcefully returned after being purchased. They mentioned that the buyers claimed the quality was subpar or that the item didn't match the description. The corner of my mouth twitched violently in sheer disbelief. Are you serious? Those scumbags literally just used them and abused the return policy. Man, even being a collectible figure is an incredibly brutal life. Xiaolan leaned her body slightly closer to me, shifting forward. Master, in that case, please allow me to. I leaned down closer to Xiaolan, my fingers gently drifting forward to brush against her soft cheek. Are you already asleep? Not yet. Xiaolan's breathing remained remarkably steady, her chest rising and falling in a rhythmic, gentle motion. A faint, blissful smile played on her lips. My fingertips tenderly brushed a few stray, silver hairs away from her face. A subtle, deeply amused smirk forming on my own lips. Fast asleep on your very first day as a human? For a legendary seductive witch. You are wildly unprofessional. I finally averted my gaze, staring blankly up at the pitch-black ceiling. Jumping straight into bed on day one just feels a bit too bizarre and rushed for me. It's definitely much better to actually build up some genuine affection first. Slowly, Xiaolan subconsciously raised both of her arms, her cool, silky skin gently wrapping around Jibada's waist as she muttered in a daze, "Master." My eyes suddenly snapped wide, open, filled with absolute anxiety and helpless dread. Good grief, this is 100 not a dream. Right at that exact second, a frantic video call ringtone from WeChat shattered the silence. I groggily scooped at my smartphone, stealing a quick glance at the deeply asleep Xiaolan, and crept out to the balcony on tiptoe. Oh, finally picked up. It's Mom, you brat. Where on earth is that girl from earlier? She went back home last night, Mom. We literally just met not too long ago. You have a girlfriend, and you didn't even bother to tell your own parents? Spill it right now. How far along are you two? Mom, I barely got any sleep last night. Let's talk about the rest later. All right? Once you start college, focus entirely on your studies. Stop obsessing over making money 24/7. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I hung up the phone and leaned against the balcony railing, my eyes narrowing. The truth about Xiaolan must absolutely be kept a secret from the public. Otherwise, it would cause an absolute global media meltdown. I slipped back into the bedroom and looked at the peacefully sleeping Xiaolan, reaching out to gently tuck the blanket around her. From now on, I have to thoroughly teach her the essential common sense of a human world. I walked into the kitchen, sparked up the gas stove, and tossed some instant noodles into the pot. Suddenly, Xiaolan, with her bare, porcelain feet, came rushing from the bedroom straight into the kitchen. She planted both hands on her hips, tilting her head down as a bashful blush rushed to her cheeks. Master. Xiaolan completely overslept. How could I let Master enter the kitchen and cook all by himself? I placed 2 steaming, piping hot bowls of noodles onto the table, reassuringly patting Xiaolan's shoulder. Hey, it's totally fine. Your timing is actually perfect. Hurry up and go brush your teeth and wash your face. Then come right back out to eat. Xiaolan, after quickly finishing her morning routine, immediately trotted over to the table and sat down, her hands resting neatly on her knees as her eyes locked intently onto the bowl of noodles. I handed a pair of chopsticks over to Xiaolan, staring deeply into her eyes. What's wrong, Xiaolan? What exactly do you think the ultimate purpose of being a maid is? To make Master completely happy, and to devote my entire heart and soul solely to Master. I firmly pressed the chopsticks right into Xiaolan's hand, my gaze unwavering. In that case, you nailed it. If you eat this entire bowl of noodles I made, I will be ecstatic. Otherwise, they'll bloat and taste terrible. Xiaolan's eyes instantly ignited with excitement, and she frantically gripped the chopsticks to dig into the noodles. Watching her eat, a smug, triumphant smirk played on the corner of my lips. At the end of the day, a mere figure stands absolutely no chance against the superior intellect of a human. I reached out to pat Xiaolan's shoulder, my expression softening. Don't worry about it anymore. Once you're done with breakfast, go change your clothes. I'm taking you out for a stroll. Xiaolan smoothly seized the opportunity to nuzzle right into my chest, wrapping her arms snugly around my waist. I am so incredibly sorry, Master. From now on, Xiaolan promises she will never, ever sleep in again. I gently and affectionately patted Xiaolan's back. There is absolutely no need to be this dramatic about it. Whenever you're feeling exhausted, you should simply take a good rest. Xiaolan tilted her slender, porcelain-white neck upward, staring at Jibada with an expression of pure, Unadulterated awe. Master, do you truly mean that? In that case, every once in a while, Xiaolon would also really love to pamper and take care of Master just a little bit. After finishing every last bite of her noodles, Xiaolon turned on the faucet to wash the dishes. Xiaolon threw on a chic, light black outerwear jacket, a crisp white short-sleeve button-up shirt, and casual denim shorts. Stepping gracefully out from the bathroom, she did a playful, elegant pirouette right on the spot. Master, does Xiaolon look beautiful like this? Does Master absolutely adore it? My eyes completely lit up as I scanned her. From head to toe, I nodded my head vigorously without a single shred of hesitation. Needless to say, you look absolutely stunning. Xiaolon tightly wrapped her arms around Ji Bada's waist, nuzzling her cheek against his chest as her silver hair swayed gently. Yay! If Master is thoroughly satisfied, then Xiaolon is incredibly happy too. I led Xiaolon out of our leased apartment complex, and the two of us strolled down into the parking lot together. Xiaolon squatted down directly next to my humble electric scooter, staring at the vehicle with a gaze full of sheer, unbridled admiration. Oh wow, Master's legendary mount is so incredibly badass. Is this a mighty beast that Master has personally tamed? I reached up to scratch my head in amusement. Okay, which one of your figurine sisters did you learn that cringe line from? 327 Xiaolon tilted her head in absolute bewilderment. I honestly don't know. Xiaolon tilted her head in sheer bewilderment, whispering, I honestly have no idea. I chuckled and waved my hand dismissively. All right, stop overthinking it. Hurry up and hop on. Xiaolon elegantly extended her long, slender legs. Understood. Master. Preparing for takeoff. Master. The electric scooter slowly rolled out of the parking lot. Xiaolon held onto my back with a vice-like grip, her ecstatic voice echoing in the wind. Oh my gosh. Master's heavenly dragon mount is so incredibly fast. It's brutally powerful. Xiaolon feels like she's about to literally fly away. I navigated the electric scooter smoothly down the suburban roads, Xiaolon clinging tightly to my waist, her silver hair whipping wildly in the wind. Her curious, wide eyes scanned the foreign surroundings with absolute fascination. I finally brought the scooter to a halt, right next to the public bike-sharing station. At the bustling Times Square, the two of us hopped off the vehicle, and Xiaolon smoothly seized the chance to lock her arm into Ji Bada's, guiding him toward the towering commercial shopping mall situated right in the center of the square. Xiaolon walked with an incredibly brisk and energetic pace, constantly turning her head to gaze at the flashy storefronts and the endless stream of traffic driving by. She suddenly pointed her slender finger toward a luxurious Porsche Panamera parked by the curb. Master, have you ever personally broken in and tamed that exotic breed of beast before? It looks completely different from yours. I scratched the back of my neck awkwardly. Well, that specific breed of beast happens to be incredibly fierce and expensive. But mark my words, I will absolutely tame one of those in the future. Xiaolon nodded her head in sheer excitement. Yes, yes. Xiaolon completely believes that Master will definitely pull it off. I pointed my finger toward the neon Mishu sign nearby. Today, Master is treating you to a sip of the divine nectar of the gods. Xiaolon's eyes instantly sparkled with joy, and she hurriedly followed Ji Bada straight toward the milk tea shop. The two of us stood right at the pickup counter of the store, and Xiaolon's striking silver hair, coupled with her stunning visuals, instantly captivated the attention of every single passerby. I grabbed 2 cups of cheese ice cream from the employee, while Xiaolon accepted her ice-cold cup of milk tea. Taking a tiny, delicate sip, her eyes snapped completely wide open in amazement. This is absolutely delicious, Master. Xiaolon is feeling so incredibly blissful right now. The employee stole a curious glance at Xiaolon and Ji Ba. Are you and your girlfriend filming a trending TikTok video right now? I swiftly pulled Xiaolon away, laughing nervously. Oh no, we're just fooling around. I dragged Xiaolon and quickly bolted right out of the milk tea shop. Man, I seriously need to drill in her head to stop calling me Master out in public. We casually strolled into the bustling arcade section. Xiaolon's eyes were filled with childlike wonder as she scanned the flashing gaming machines and the massive crowds. Xiaolon appeared absolutely thrilled. looking around at every single dazzling corner. She eventually froze right in front of a claw machine. Master, that little bear inside just telepathically told me he's been trapped here for years. He desperately wants to break free. I dropped a few tokens into the slot and firmly gripped the joystick, intently locking my sights onto the plush bear. I dropped the claw repeatedly, but walked away completely empty-handed. I scratched my head, looking utterly defeated. Damn it, my claw machine skills are absolutely pathetic. In the end, I had to resort to the ultimate pay-to-win strategy. I pulled out 300 yuan, handed it straight to the arcade owner, and successfully secured the plush bear to hand over to Xiaolon. Xiaolon looked completely over the moon. Master, the little bear says he is profoundly grateful to you for breaking him out of confinement. I stared dead at the stuffed animal resting inside Xiaolan's arms. Grateful my foot. That damn bear just cost me a fortune. After heading back home, I sat down in front of my PC, hammering away at the keyboard, my eyes intensely focused on the computer monitor. Meanwhile, Xiaolon, back in her iconic maid uniform, tied on an apron and was bustling around busily in front of the kitchen stove. She hummed a sweet, cheerful little melody, her movements incredibly swift and practiced. Suddenly, I felt a sharp, chilling gaze piercing through my back. It literally felt as if every single anime figure displayed inside this room was intently tracking my every move. Xiaolon, still clad in her lovely maid outfit, popped her head into the bedroom doorway. Dinner is officially served. The very next second, she darted to my side and clung tightly to my arm, nuzzling against me with absolute cuteness. Xiaolon was cooking all by herself, and being away from Master for so long, I missed Master so incredibly much. Xiaolon presented the chopsticks with both hands, beaming a brilliant smile at Jibata. Master, here are your chopsticks. I took the chopsticks from her, picked up a piece of chicken, and popped it right into my mouth. After chewing for a bit, I nodded, my eyes filled with satisfaction. Wow, this is actually amazing, Xiaolon. Your culinary skills are top-notch. Come on, let's eat together. Xiaolon shook her head, resting both hands neatly on her knees. Oh, it's quite all right, Master. Xiaolon will simply wait until Master finishes before digging in. I knit my brows slightly. Look, we absolutely do not have those kinds of outdated feudal rules in this household. Hurry up, go scoop some rice and eat with me. Xiaolon nodded eagerly, quickly darting into the kitchen to scoop some rice, and returned to the table clutching her chopsticks. I placed a juicy piece of chicken straight into Xiaolan's bowl. From now on, you shouldn't only be thinking about my well-being. Xiaolon needs to start prioritizing herself, too. Xiaolan's eyes sparkled as she gazed at Jibata. For 16, nodding vigorously. Xiaolon completely understands, Master. She nodded her head vigorously. Xiaolon fully understands now. Later, I sat in front of my computer and pulled up the character application page, detailing the seductive witch's setup. My eyes were fixed on the screen, a sudden wave of nervous anticipation washing over me. If that fated day truly arrives, there is absolutely no way I'd be able to turn down such an incredibly adorable maid. I shut down the PC and called out toward the doorway. Hearing my voice, Xiaolon quickly abandoned her broom and came rushing over. What are your dynamic orders for me, Master? I gently patted the empty seat right next to me. Come here. Let me teach you how to shop using your phone. Xiaolon nodded obediently and gracefully sat down beside me. I opened up the food delivery apps and online shopping platforms, guiding her step by step on how to order food and purchase items online. Once the thorough tutorial was complete, I let Xiaolon try placing a test food order herself. I then booted up my computer to browse various short video platforms. Whenever I'm not at home, if anything goes sideways, just shoot me a text or call me immediately. Xiaolon nodded with absolute concentration. Yes. Understood, Master. I gently patted Xiaolan's head and handed the phone over to her. Go ahead and explore it on your own for a bit. All right? I'm heading in to take a shower. I grabbed my pajamas and headed straight into the bathroom, my footsteps light. After washing up, I stepped back out into the bedroom, drying my damp hair with a towel as I peeked into the corner. What are you watching over there? That's got you so incredibly hooked? Xiaolon was cradling the plush bear, clutching the smartphone tightly in her other hand. She was beaming a radiant smile, completely immersed in the screen, as her slender fingertips swiftly swiped across. The display. I leaned down to sneak a glance at the screen, only to spot the internet influencer on the feed, instantly making me freeze. Oh my god, are you seriously watching an internet influencer right now? Xiaolon immediately hit the pause button. Master, this content creator is so incredibly cute. I straightened my posture, pulling out my gaming chair to sit down. Well, if you enjoy the content that much, make sure to hit that like button to support them, alright? Xiaolon nodded her head enthusiastically. Her gaze locked in, tightening her grip on the plush bear with both hands. Understood. I will definitely smash that like button. A crossbody bag rested neatly on the gaming chair, packed inside with identification papers, tissues, and bottles of mineral water, all meticulously organized. I lay stretching out on the mattress, slowly fluttering my eyes. Open, my vision still thoroughly clouded with sleep. Hearing a bustling commotion coming from the kitchen, I snapped awake and sat upright. I snatched at my crossbody bag and zipped it open, finding every single document and personal item categorized with flawless precision. My fingertips gently grazed over the contents as my mind raced. Holy crap, outside of my own mother, absolutely nobody has ever taken care of me with this level of devotion. Meanwhile, Xiaolon balanced on her tiptoes, enthusiastically stir-frying ingredients over the blazing stove, her lips softly humming a bright, joyful melody. The warm morning sunlight cascaded beautifully over her silhouette. Slipped into my indoor slippers, I shuffled out of the bedroom. Xiaolon, just when on earth did you wake up? Xiaolon, spatula gripped firmly in hand, spun her head around with a radiant beam. Good morning, master. Xiaolon actually hasn't been awake for very long at all. Hurry along and freshen up. Your premium breakfast is almost fully prepared. I stared blankly at the gorgeously arranged breakfast spread lining the dining table. Piping hot steam billowing up, looking absolutely mouth-watering and vibrant. A sleepy smile finally broke across my face as I flashed her an enthusiastic thumbs up. Xiaolon hoisted her spatula high into the air, spinning around in a joyful pirouette. Receiving praise from Master makes Xiaolon completely ecstatic. I will absolutely keep giving it my 100 effort, gazing at the endless energy radiating from Xiaolon's busy silhouette. I couldn't help but feel my deeply furrowed brows completely soften. Every ounce of my usual morning irritability had entirely evaporated into thin air. Soon, the two of us sat side by side at the table enjoying breakfast, Xiaolon stealing admiring glances at Jiba every few seconds. Once breakfast was cleared, I slung on my crossbody bag while Xiaolon cradled her plush bear, and the two of us made our way downstairs together. Arriving right at the main entrance of the residential complex, I halted, dead in my tracks at the neighborhood gates, turning around to look at Xiaolon, my expression laced with a hint of genuine anxiety. I'll be back before 7 tonight. If any packages arrive, just tell them to leave them at the door. Watch out for your safety while home alone. If literally anything goes sideways, text or call me immediately. Got it? Xiaolon squeezed the plush bear significantly tighter against her chest, the cool morning breeze gently rustling her silver bangs. Her deep, crimson-pink eyes were completely painted with a profound reluctance to let me go. Yes, I understand completely. I will be an absolute angel inside the house, patiently waiting for Master to return. I reached out and gently stroked Xiaolon's hair, my movements incredibly tender and soft. Good girl, Xiaolon. Xiaolon eagerly pushed herself up onto her tiptoes, nuzzling her head affectionately right into the palm of Ji Bada's hand. She narrowed her eyes, breaking into a completely innocent, pure smile. Hee, being praised by Master is the best. Xiaolon proudly hoisted the plush bear resting inside her arms upward. Oh, and the little bear also mentioned that once you successfully graduate, he's going to invite you over to his homeland to introduce you to a phenomenally voluptuous, ultra-furry, and brutally strong female bear as your mate. I reached down and aggressively pinched the plush bear's squishy head, a highly amused smirk forming on the corner of my lips. Tell him a gorgeous Russian girl with a bit of fuzz is fine, but he can keep that giant female grizzly bear all to himself. My ride-sharing car pulled up, blaring its horn as it came to a halt by the curb. I playfully squeezed Xiaolon's smooth cheek, my gaze softening completely. All right, my ride is here. I'm off to class now. You head on back upstairs. First, Xiaolan, looking both incredibly reluctant and adorably stubborn, gently shook her head. No, I want to watch Master get safely into the car before I head back. I trotted over to the vehicle, opened the door, and hopped inside, waving my hand out the open window. Go on back now. I'll be home the second my classes are over tonight. Xiaolan hoisted the plush bear's floppy paw high into the air, waving it frantically, her crystal-clear voice carrying a slight, emotional tremor. Goodbye, Master. Xiaolan will do her absolute best to hold back her immense longing for you. I poked my head out of the car window, laughing as I waved back. Got it. Hurry up and go back inside. Don't just stand out there looking like a dork. The car slowly accelerated, melting into the endless sea of heavy traffic. Jibada continuously peeked backward through the rear window, watching, as Xiaolan's tiny silhouette grew smaller and smaller in the distance. She remained fiercely stubborn, standing frozen exactly where we parted. Eventually, the car brought me to a halt right at the main gates of the university. I pushed the car door wide open and stepped out, the suffocating heat of late summer instantly slamming into my face. The campus entrance was absolutely packed with people, an endless swarm of fresh students and worried parents rushing past, while massive directional signs lined the pathways. The air was brutally muggy. I navigated my way through the crowd, following the directional signs while occasionally getting pointed in the right direction by helpful upperclassmen, my footsteps naturally growing much swifter. I spent the next few hours frantically sprinting between various administrative offices, clutching my off-campus housing application forms tightly, before running over to the local police station to register. I seriously had zero clue that securing an off-campus living permit required navigating this much bureaucratic nightmare. Dragging my completely exhausted body, I finally trudged into the lecture hall. The classroom was already packed to the brim with students, and the homeroom instructor was standing firmly behind the main podium. I quietly listened to my classmates, taking turns introducing themselves, praying desperately that my name wouldn't be called anytime soon. Next up, let's welcome student Yiba. I took a massive, deep breath, forcing my trembling body to stand upright. My footsteps felt incredibly stiff and mechanical as I walked up to the podium. I nervously adjusted the frames of my glasses, forcing my voice to sound completely calm and collected, while maintaining an absolute poker face. Hello, everyone. My name is Jibada, and I hail from Jianhai. My main hobbies are reading and gaming. I look forward to getting along with you all. Walking back like a soulless zombie, I swiftly returned to my seat, slumped down, and exhaled a massive sigh of pure relief. Finally, with that taken care of, I sat in the back seat of the taxi, gazing out the window with an expression brimming with anticipation. I couldn't wait to finally see Xiaolan again. After paying the driver, I pushed the car door open. But before I could even plant my foot firmly onto the asphalt, I spotted Xiaolan standing right by the entrance of the residential complex. The exact moment her eyes locked onto Jibada, they instantly illuminated with pure joy. She flung her arms wide open. Master, wearing flat shoes, Xiaolan bolted forward like a rocket toward Jibada. She launched herself straight into his embrace, clinging onto Jibada's body like a helpless koala. 562, she nuzzled her head frantically against his chest, letting out soft, emotional whimpers. Snuggling her head against his chest while letting out soft, muffled whimpers. Master, you are finally back. Xiaolan was at home, missing you to the point of absolute madness. I smiled warmly, wrapping my arms tightly around Xiaolan, my fingertips absorbing her incredible warmth. While I was away at class, what exactly did you do all by yourself at home? I completely mastered how to operate the washing machine. I washed the bed sheets, the duvet covers, and even fried a fish for lunch. I accidentally knocked over a bottle of sauce, but I thoroughly wiped it clean. Oh, and I watched TV with Yuan, and completely wiped down your computer desk too. Take charge, I instantly clasped Xiaolan's flawless, fair hand, my fingers intertwining with her smooth, cool skin. All right, let's head inside. You've been starving all afternoon. Xiaolan stared down at our joined hands, her cheeks flushing a delicate rosy pink, as she softly murmured, "Yes, master." I guided Xiaolan back into the apartment, Inside, the windows were pristine and bright. The entire space completely spotless, carrying the faint, fresh scent of cleaning detergent. Please take a well-deserved rest, Master. Xiaolan will go whip up dinner right this second. I sat down in front of my computer, booting up my creative writing software, knitting my brows together as I try to brainstorm the plot details. With my fingertips hovering completely frozen over the keyboard, I realized it was utterly impossible to focus on writing my web novel with so much going on. Suddenly, my smartphone screen illuminated, and a bank transaction notification flashed before my eyes. Automatic WeChat Pay processed. The premium VIP membership for the platform you previously subscribed to has been automatically renewed. A total of 30 yuan has been deducted. Damn it. Scammed by another auto-renewal trick. My gaze suddenly drifted, landing right on the plush Gundam bear sitting at the edge of the bed. My eyes instantly lit up. A wild, surreal thought sparked in my mind. Could an actual system exist? Taking a deep, calculated breath, I whispered tentatively inside my mind. System, are you there? Receiving absolutely no response. I let out a self-deprecating smirk and shook my head, thinking I was completely delusional. Suddenly, ding. A crisp, clear electronic notification chime echoed directly inside my head. A sleek, neon blue holographic interface materialized, straight out of thin air, proudly displaying the glowing text. The Universal Upgrade System. Active operations initiated. Current upgraded artifact in possession. The Seductress Witch Figure. Xiao Lan. Time remaining until the next evolutionary upgrade. 2 days, 16 hours, and 33 minutes. The Universal Upgrade System is consistently operational. Current upgraded asset, Witch Seductress anime figure. Xiao Lan. Countdown to the next automatic synchronization. 2 days, 16 hours, and 33 minutes. I was completely taken aback by this sudden, miraculous system manifestation. With absolute, unadulterated disbelief, I stared at the floating screen. Holy crap, a real system actually exists. Once the initial shockwave settled, pure, unbridled euphoria took over. My eyes sparked with excitement, and I spoke in a thrilled tone. System, explain your capabilities to me right now. This interface operates as the Universal Upgrade System, capable of randomly evolving and purifying any physical object within the host's immediate vicinity, granting them entirely brand new attributes or supernatural abilities. The evolutionary cycle triggers once per week. 623 time remaining until the next system-wide upgrade. Time remaining until the next ultimate level up. 2 days, 16 hours, and 20 minutes. I stared intently at the holographic text, unconsciously scanning the regular, mundane items scattered around my bedroom. My gaze shifted back and forth with deep anticipation. Man, I hope the next upgrade yields something insanely valuable that can make me filthy rich. Master, dinner is officially served. I swiftly dismissed the system interface and walked out to the living room. Later that night, Xiaolan and I stood, side by side, washing dishes together at the kitchen sink. I took charge of rinsing the soap off, while Xiaolan used a dry towel to wipe down the plates and chopsticks. Our arms would occasionally brush against one another, causing a beautiful crimson blush to paint Xiaolan's cheeks. She hurriedly buried her face downwards, focusing entirely on drying the dishes. Xiaolan sheepishly averted her gaze from Yubada. I looked at her, utterly baffled. Wait, why does this legendary seductress, which character lore, make her blush so damn easily? Once the kitchen was completely spotless, the two of us returned to the bedroom together. I propped myself up against the headboard of the bed, pulling out my phone to type out some web novel chapters. Meanwhile, Xiaolan, freshly showered and enveloped in a warm, fragrant mist of steam, stepped into the bedroom. She stood directly beside the mattress, staring intensely at the plush bear. Master, the little bear is desperately calling out for backup right now. Xiaolan tilted her head as if tuned into a psychic frequency before, perfectly mimicking a gruff, raspy voice. Quick, move your massive butt out of the way. My precious fur is about to get completely crushed to a pulp. I stared blankly for a second before bursting into laughter. I snatched the plush bear up with one hand, playfully putting it in a headlock. Don't pretend like I understand stuffed bear language. Keep talking back, and I'm tossing your butt straight back into that claw machine. Xiaolan bit her lip to stifle a giggle. She slipped out her slippers, crawled right onto the bed, and sat down cross-legged next to Jibata. She playfully poked the plush bear's fluffy belly. Master, the little bear says he completely surrenders and admits his mistake. If you squeeze him any tighter, all his stuffing is going to get brutally squeezed right out of him. I couldn't help but crack up at her antics. Finally releasing the plush bear from my grip, my eyes full of amusement. Honestly, sometimes I genuinely wish I could understand what you guys are gossiping about. Xiaolan propped her hands up on the mattress, sliding closer toward Jibata. Her loose, playful little devil pajama top swayed enticingly with her every movement. Well, we usually just gossip about Master. After all, you are our absolute and only master. Her crimson eyes were incredibly pure and crystal clear. With a deadpan expression, Han Dong completely agreed that he was a literal bear. You should hurry up and let him go. He's entirely packed with regular cotton stuffing, so he doesn't have any actual physical sensation anyway. I immediately tossed the plush bear over to the far side of the bed, instinctively shifting my posture as my ears flushed a vibrant red. Well, sometimes that's just impossible turn of events. Want to know what these toys are talking about? Xiaolan sat in a perfect, cute W-sit position, right across from Jibata, her expressive eyes shifting dynamically. A sudden jolt of creative inspiration struck my mind. I quickly whipped out my phone to create a brand new web novel draft, my fingers flying across the screen. To craft an urban fantasy story. It's an absolute, guaranteed bestseller. The moment I finished wrapping up the first chapter, I set the phone down and let out a massive, satisfying stretch, drifting off to sleep while hugging her pillow, a gentle smile resting on her lips as her toes occasionally twitched. Her phone screen was still softly glowing, displaying a cooking recipe layout. I gently pulled the blanket over Xiaolan's shoulders, carefully unplugged the device. Honestly, being able to live a life like this is already an incredibly rare, unmatched blessing. The next morning, well before dawn, I quietly slipped my phone out and booted up the system interface. Countdown timer remaining until the next evolutionary upgrade. 0 days, 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 7 seconds. As the digital countdown ticked down, a full week had officially concluded. Selecting a physical asset from the host's inventory to initiate the evolutionary upgrade protocol. Initializing scan, and her tone turned dead serious. The little bear also says that since he's literally just a stuffed toy, my eyes locked onto the metallic gray laptop resting on my desk, my jaw dropping in absolute shock. The laptop suddenly began radiating a soft, blinding silver-white light, as its internal components initiated a full-scale physical restructuring. Amidst the rapid mechanical whirring and shifting of metal parts, the device reassembled itself into a half-meter-tall humanoid computer girl, sitting gracefully on the floor. Her metallic hair glowed with a vibrant, neon-blue luminescence, while her digital face radiated a breathtaking cybernetic pulse, sparkling beautifully. Pleasure to finally meet you, Master. I'm a laptop you once owned, and my evolutionary upgrade is officially complete. I stroked my chin, carefully inspecting this newly spawned computer girl. Last time, an anime figure turned into a living witch, and now my outdated laptop has literally transformed into a cybernetic assistant. So, do you possess any broken, overpowered abilities right now? The mini computer girl confidently locked her hands onto her hips, instantly projecting a barrage of floating holographic interfaces all around her. As infinite rows of green source code cascaded down, eon vastly superior, to every single supercomputer on this entire planet. Oh, and I can also seamlessly revert back into a standard, traditional laptop form whenever you want. I hurriedly waved my hands in dismissal. No need to transform back. Can you actually help me generate massive income through completely legal channels? The computer girl nodded enthusiastically with an adorable grin. With a delicate swipe of her finger in midair, she projected the login portal of my banking app. In a blink of an eye, my modest balance of 50,000 yuan skyrocketed straight to a staggering 10 billion yuan, the digits violently spinning at a breakneck speed. I swallowed hard, my voice trembling violently as my eyes bulged out in sheer terror. Did you just straight up hack into the central bank? Look, this is highly illegal. As long as nobody on Earth is capable of detecting my trace, then technically it's not a crime at all, Master. I waved my hands frantically in sheer panic, my face laced with intense hesitation. Hurry up and revert that money right now. I am absolutely not trying to end up behind bars. The computer girl pouted her lips in slight disappointment, and the artificial balance instantly plummeted back down to 50,000 yuan. Damn it. Why do I suddenly feel a massive pang of instant regret for being honest? I gently tapped the cool, metallic cheek of the mini computer girl, gazing at her with intense curiosity. So, are you officially classified as an advanced android, or are you a sentient AI? The computer girl hoisted her mechanical arm up, flashing a playful peace sign. As her digital eyes flickered brilliantly, I am a transcendent life form, far surpassing all standard electronics. And I belong exclusively to you, Master. I stroked my chin thoughtfully, falling into deep contemplation. I definitely need to give you a fitting name. How about we call you Yuan Yuan? Oh, I absolutely adore that name. Thank you, Master. I quickly pulled up my investment portfolio app and brought the screen directly in front of Yuan Yuan. Yuan Yuan, help me analyze which of these index funds are guaranteed to explode in value. Yuan Yuan, clutch the smartphone firmly with both hands. These three specific funds have a staggering 97.3 probability of achieving a cumulative growth rate exceeding 15. My eyes instantly lit up, my face painted with sheer, unbridled excitement. An absolute growth rate of over 15. With that, my 50,000 yuan can instantly net over 7 grand. Yuan Yuan reached out and tugged at Jibada's shirt, pulling up a live stock market dashboard. Right next to him. Why don't we dive straight into stock trading instead? The profit margins are exponentially higher than boring index funds. I scratched my head, looking completely out of my depth. The stock market is far too volatile, and I have zero experience. Yuan Yuan confidently locked her hands onto her hips, puffing out her chest. Just leave everything to me. Provide your brokerage account, and I will deploy the ultimate, flawless trading algorithm. Guaranteed massive gains, zero losses. All right, take the 50 grand. Trade stocks until you hit a cool 30 million, then pull out. Understood. Master. Mission successfully locked in. Meanwhile, Xiaolan rubbed her sleepy eyes, waking up, and glancing over at the two of us. Master, you're awake already? Oh wow. Hello there, fellow anime figure turned living sister. Hello. Xiaolan et sitenli suk di ba zasham. Whoa, Master, look at this. Your regular old metal box has literally become a living spirit. Yuan Yuan pouted her cybernetic lips, retorting in an incredibly disgruntled tone, I am absolutely not some primitive metal box spirit. I am a transcendent, advanced cybernetic life form. I stare at the two of them bickering back and forth, so vibrantly, a knowing, amused smile breaking across my face. Man, the system really outdid itself this time. This upgrade is an absolute, game-changing masterpiece. The next morning, I woke up in my pajamas feeling an incredibly tight, suffocating pressure. Slowly blinking my heavy eyelids open, I peeked down at my torso, completely bewildered. My eyebrows shooting straight up. Xiaolan was wrapped around me like a literal octopus, viciously latching onto Jibada's body. Her legs were locked tightly around my waist, while her upper body practically smothered my head. A blissful smile was painted on her peaceful face as she softly mumbled in her sleep. Hee, Master. I carefully and meticulously pried Xiaolan's limbs off my body with maximum stealth, my face flushing a deep crimson. No wonder I felt like I was literally suffocating to death. Suddenly, the laptop resting on the desk began clicking and clacking, shifting its metallic parts. Within a few seconds, it transformed into the mini robot girl, who sat swinging her short legs over the edge of the desk. Master, you're up incredibly early today. Are you heading out somewhere? I threw on a casual t-shirt, while glancing over at Yuan Yuan. I'm a university student, so waking up early is practically mandatory. Yuan Yuan's digital eyes flickered rapidly, as if downloading a massive campus database, before she nodded her head with a dead serious expression. Understood. Yuan Yuan will be an absolute angel at home. And I will make sure to keep a strict eye on Sister Xiaolan too. Once I finished changing, I stole a quick glance at Xiaolan, who was still completely knocked out in dead sleep on the bed. She still has zero clue how the modern world works. So absolutely do not let her cause any chaos. Yuan Yuan aggressively beat her chest, a fiercely confident text string flashing across her digital face. Rest assured, Master, I will keep your precious sister Xiaolan under strict lock and key. I snatched at my smartphone and apartment keys, swiftly stepping outside and locking the door behind me. I had grabbed takeout breakfast earlier, leaving Xiaolan's portion neatly on the dining table, before pivoting on my heel to frantically dash back to campus. As my silhouette vanished down the hallway, my phone vibrated with a brand new notification from Xiaolan. Master, I'm so deeply sorry. Xiaolan accidentally overslept again. Thank you so much for buying me breakfast, Master. I glanced down at my screen, quickly typing back, don't sweat it. Minutes later, I stepped into the lecture hall, where small cliques of students were already huddled up, gossiping loudly. I pulled up the stock market portfolio app on my phone, only to find the asset charts aggressively skyrocketing upward. My eyes completely bulged out. Holy crap! Yuan Yuan's market analysis is flawlessly accurate. Meanwhile, Shan Kai was seated directly in front of Jibada, his head buried low as he focused entirely on sketching. The female English professor, clad in sharp black business attire, stood behind the main podium. I let out a massive yawn, my eyes half-lidded and utterly lazy, my eyelids feeling heavier by the second. The moment the bell rang, I stood up, planning to settle my utility bills. As I casually walked past Shinkai's desk, I accidentally caught a stray glimpse of his open sketchbook. A wave of pure shock violently washed over me the exact second I recognized the detailed, made character drawn inside. My pupils instantly dilated. As I hurriedly ripped off my glasses to stare closer, this was, without a shadow of a doubt, Xiaolan. Shinkai instantly caught on to Jibada's piercing gaze, looking slightly tense as he nervously adjusted the bridge of his glasses. It's nothing. Nothing at all. I just couldn't help but notice that your made illustration is incredibly beautiful. That's all. Thanks. I did my absolute best to force my voice to sound completely natural and casual as I pressed further. Is this character a completely original creation of yours? She feels insanely lifelike and full of soul. I suppose you could put it that way. She's a companion who technically exists solely within my imagination. Xiao Lan is her official name. Shinkai offered a subtle, quiet nod, offering absolutely zero further explanation. His hair, style, and aloof aura practically screamed at people to stay far away from him. I let out a completely forced, awkward laugh, quickly turning around to flee from Shinkai's desk. Just how on earth does that guy know about her? Later that evening, the ride-sharing car finally brought me to a halt right outside the gates of my residential complex. I quickly settled the digital payment and stepped out. Master is finally home. Master is back. Xiaolan's incredibly soft, warm body instantly launched straight into my embrace, nuzzling her face wildly against my chest. Feeling the piercing, judgmental stares of nearby pedestrians, my face flushed a violent crimson. I grabbed Xiaolan by the hand and practically dragged her inside the neighborhood gates, looking utterly mortified. Let's just get back inside the apartment first. Xiaolan gently dusted off the stray lint clinging to Jibada's clothes, pulled his indoor slippers out from the shoe cabinet, and promptly poured him a warm glass of water. Master, please rehydrate. I accepted the glass and chugged it down in one single gulp. My face relaxed into deep satisfaction. Hans, Xiaolan, I appreciate your hard work. Xiaolan tied on her apron and marched into the kitchen. Please take a well-deserved rest first. Master, Xiaolan is going to whip up a feast for dinner right now. I walked into my bedroom, announcing my return. I'm back. The laptop immediately clicked and clapped, shifting its metal parts to reassemble into the mini robot girl. She hopped dynamically onto the gaming chair before leaping right onto the bed. An adorable text string illuminated across her digital screen. Welcome home, Master. I unslung my crossbody bag, tossed it down, and collapsed onto the mattress. Man, campus life is honestly so mind-numbing. Coming home to you guys is the only good part of my day. Yuan Yuan crawled over to rest right beside Jibada's head, her short mechanical legs swinging back and forth rhythmically. The text blinking across her face, and her face shifted. Hee hee. Yuan wants to stay right by Master's side every single day too. I turned my head to look at Yuan. So, what did you manage to accomplish at home today? The digital text blinking on Yuan's face instantly transformed into a rapidly ascending stock market chart. I spent the day executing high-frequency trades for Master. Your 50,000 yuan is projected to pull in 500,000 yuan after 3 consecutive maximum limit daily surges. I gently patted Yuan's cool, metallic head. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. 880 Yuan's digital display immediately. Yuan's monitor display reverted back to her default cute face, and she happily swayed her head. Once dinner concluded, I unboxed my military training gear bundle. Xiaolon cautiously inched closer, examining the items with intense curiosity. Master, what exactly are all these strange garments for? What is this military training thing? Yuan clicked in her bot form and strutted over on her mechanical limbs. It is a mandatory collective conditioning ritual practiced by humans in Huaxia. Xiaolon stared at the digital diagrams, processing the concept with a completely confused nod. So it's basically a massive crowd of people sunbathing together with Master? I instantly cracked up at Xiaolan's bizarre, innocent logic. I whipped out my smartphone and booted up the camera app. Anzai, Xiaolan. Give me a crisp military salute. Let me snap a high-quality picture of you. Xiaolan instantly straightened her posture, locking her back straight, and executed a flawlessly sharp, textbook salute. Her expression was dead serious, yet she couldn't fully mask her vibrant smile. Does this pass inspection, Master? I forcefully tapped the shutter button. Glancing down at the capture image on my screen, I nodded with immense satisfaction. Perfect. Keep that exact energy. You look absolutely adorable. The next day, I stood frozen in rigid formation on the blazing training grounds, endlessly repeating standard attention and rest drills. Beads of sweat trickled down my forehead underneath the heavy military uniform. The back of my shirt completely drenched and stained dark with perspiration. The damp fabric clung to my skin, making me feel like I was literally being slow roasted into dried fish. The moment the instructor barked the command to dismiss, I dragged my agonizingly heavy, sluggish footsteps toward the cafeteria. I wolfed down my food in the cafeteria before frantically rushing back to the classroom to blast the fan. Staring out the window into the distance, my mind began to wander, completely struck by sudden anxiety over what Xiaolon and Yuan were currently up to at home. Later, as I sat by the window on the city bus, plugged into my earbuds and listening to music, my smartphone screen abruptly lit up on its own. Yuan's dynamic, pixelated cybernetic face flashed onto the display. Master, disaster has officially struck. Your precious sister Xiaolon is fundamentally malfunctioning. A live video feed forcefully overrode my screen. In the footage, Xiaolon was deathly pale, collapsed completely motionless right at the kitchen doorway. My eyes violently dilated, my face frozen in sheer horror as I ripped my earbuds out in a blind panic. Driver, please pull over and let me off right this second. I have a literal, life or death emergency. I stumbled and lunged out of the bus doors, frantically flagging down a passing taxi on the curb. Driver, head to the Longhu district. Step on it. The taxi bolted forward, flying down the asphalt like a rocket. I dashed up the apartment stairs at a breakneck pace, bursting through the front door. Xiaolon was lying perfectly still, pale as a ghost, right at the entrance of the kitchen. Master, she suddenly lost consciousness out of nowhere, and her vital signs are dangerously weak. I carefully and delicately scooped Xiaolon up into my arms, bolting back down the stairwell at a frantic sprint, hailing another cab. Driver, take us to the absolute nearest hospital right now. What exactly happened to her? Where's the pain? She just has absolutely zero strength left. I accompanied Xiaolon through endless lines to get medical scans processed. The doctor, adjusting the rim of his glasses, closely analyzed the diagnostic reports. I can't find a single medical abnormality here. It's highly probable that she's just suffering from extreme exhaustion. Take her home, and keep a close eye on her condition for now. I gently supported Xiaolon as we got into a cab back home. my eyes laced with suffocating worry. Safely back in the apartment, I sat in front of my PC, my fingers flying as I aggressively searched the web. An ancient lore database entry flashed on the screen. Witches require a regular, periodic replenishment of vital yang energy to maintain their physical form. A prolonged deficit will cause severe physical decay, ultimately leading to total erasure. My hands flushed a vibrant red. My face painted with immense hesitation as my gaze drifted toward Xiao Lan resting on the bed. Am I genuinely supposed to go through with this? I slowly took off my glasses, cautiously crawled onto the mattress, and pulled Xiao Lan gently into my embrace. Lowering my head, I softly called out her name. Xiao Lan. Xiao Lan. I finally figured out exactly how to save you. Master. My hands trembled slightly as I gently rested my palm against Xiao Lan's chest. Xiao Lan's entire body violently flinched, letting out a soft, breathless gasp as a deep crimson blush painted her cheeks. Xiao Lan reached up, her delicate fingers tightly clutching the fabric of Ji Bada's shirt. Yes, Xiao Lan will completely obey Master's commands. Whatever you want to do to me, Xiao Lan will completely accept. I gently cupped Xiao Lan's delicate face, slowly lowering my lips toward hers. The very next morning, I forced my agonizingly heavy, exhausted eyes wide open. Clutching my severe, aching lower back, I groaned. That wasn't a regular vital energy replenishment at all. That was an absolute, literal attempt on my entire life. Xiao Lan, comfortably dressed in her playful little devil pajamas, bounced over. Master, Xiao Lan is entirely, perfectly healthy and energized now. You were absolutely, incredibly powerful last night, Master. Xiao Lan has genuinely never experienced such an unbelievable sensation before. As long as you're perfectly fine, that's all that matters. Xiao Lan's cheeks flushed a delicate rosy pink, and her finger gently traced a slow circle against Ji Bada's bare chest. Master, could the two of us please perform that ritual just one more time tomorrow night? I instantly choked on my own saliva, my face freezing in utter mortification as a sharp, agonizing phantom pain flared up in my spine. Look, moderation is absolutely key in everything we do. My regular, mortal human frame is fundamentally incapable of enduring that kind of nightly intense marathon. Xiao Lan pouted her lips slightly, grabbing the sleeve of Ji Bada's loose pajamas and shaking it back and forth. But being physically synchronized with Master genuinely feels so incredibly blissful. Xiao Lan guided Ji Bada by the arm toward the dining room. The table was loaded with an absolute masterpiece of a meticulously prepared lunch course. The aroma and vibrant colors looking completely top tier. Xiao Lan propped her chin up with both hands, watching me eat with a radiant, beautiful beam. She occasionally placed choice cuts of food directly onto my plate. Her gaze brimmed with pure, unconditional adoration. After showering, I collapsed lazily onto the bed and booted up a mobile game on my phone. Xiao Lan quietly crawled onto the mattress, resting her head comfortably right on my lap. What exactly are you playing right now, Master? Xiao Lan extended her slender, porcelain finger, carefully, and playfully prodding the back of my hand, holding the smartphone. She resting her smooth, long legs across mine. Master, a massive defeated screen forcefully flashed across my phone interface. You are an absolute, certified little temptress. I'm going to have to punish you properly for that. In one swift motion, I flipped my body over, pinning Xiao Lan flat against the mattress. I lowered my head, aggressively sealing Xiao Lan's lips with a passionate kiss. Xiao Lan locked her slender arms tightly around his neck. No, Master. Xiao Lan genuinely loves Master more than anything else in the world. The next day, I was completely collapsed on the fitness mat, attempting push-ups. My arms shook violently, and thick blue veins throbbed on my forehead. Master, keep pushing. Master, you can do it. Master has officially completed 10 reps. Suddenly, ding. The universal upgrade system has initiated synchronization. 7, 8, 9. The mechanical chime echoed. Target asset selected for evolutionary upgrade. The physical human vessel of the host. Wait, what? The system is upgrading my actual self? My entire body instantly erupted into a blinding, warm aura of pure white light. I instinctively reached up to touch the bridge of my nose, realizing my glasses were gone. Yet my surroundings were suddenly rendered in absolute, crystal clear, high definition. My severe, decade-long nearsightedness had completely vanished into thin air. I effortlessly sprung straight back up onto my feet, feeling lighter than ever. Physical muscle density increased to level 35. Stamina increased to 200. Master, it looks like you've officially evolved. The previous set doesn't count. Let's restart from scratch. I pumped out push-ups in one fluid motion, maintaining a perfectly rhythmic pace without feeling even a shred of exhaustion. Master is absolutely the handsomest guy alive. 1,300. Master has completely shattered the goal. After crushing 5,000 consecutive push-ups, I effortlessly sprung back up to my feet, my entire body surging with intense heat. I walked straight into the bathroom and stood directly in front of the mirror. The G-bod, reflecting in the glass, was remarkably tall, standing perfectly upright, sporting a flawless, chiseled 8-pack, with highly defined obliques. I quickly changed into clean clothes. Xiaolon, check it out. Does Master look exceptionally handsome? Now, Master is the absolute handsomest. Master, today's net profit from day trading stocks is approximately 1 million yuan. Are you serious? I've officially become a millionaire. Master, hurry up and get over here. The very next morning, the adjacent apartment door swung open and the neighborhood couple stepped out. The husband sported massive dark circles under his eyes, while the wife's cheeks flushed a delicate pink. Realizing they must have overheard everything last night, my face burned white hot. I flashed a completely forced, awkward smile at them. I couldn't help but chuckle softly, shaking my head. Man, I really need to be more mindful of maintaining peaceful neighborly relations from now on. I stepped into the lecture hall, instantly sensing a dozen piercing gazes locking onto me. I instinctively reached up to adjust the bridge of my glasses, only to remember I wasn't wearing any. Excuse me, did you walk into the wrong classroom? Nope, definitely not. I'm Bia Da. I sit right at the back row next to the window. Wait, Jibata, is that seriously you? My astigmatism wasn't that severe anyway, so wearing glasses is completely optional. I offered a gentle, subtle smile, confidently brushing off their shocked stares, as I strolled right toward my usual desk. Holy crap, dude, what happened during military training? Did you literally undergo an evolution? How did your physique get so insanely shredded? Shang Feng and 2 other classmates locked arms, swaggering over to my desk. Shang Feng forcefully slapped my shoulder. Seriously, my guy, I just casually engage in a bit of routine fitness, that's all. My frame didn't budge a single millimeter from the impact, my face completely nonchalant. Oh my god, you've been secretly grinding on your physique, haven't you? Look at you. The very second you walked in, every single girl in this room started staring at you totally differently. All right, cut me some slack. Are we hopping on mobile games after class? Let me host a lobby. Hand over your phone so I can log into my account. It seems like I completely forgot to bring my phone today. Fine, whatever. Just sit back and watch me completely carry you today. At that exact same moment back at the apartment, Xiaolon was resting on the bed, her long, curled eyelashes fluttering subtly as she slowly fluttered her eyes open. Xiaolon let out a massive, drawn-out yawn, her pajama top riding up slightly, to expose her striking, slender waistline as she sat up. She grabbed Jibada's pillow, hugging it tightly while rolling to the foot of the bed. Suddenly, the smartphone buried deep inside a pile of laundry began vibrating aggressively, its screen illuminating with an incoming call from Mom. The default ringtone started blaring loudly throughout the room. Xiaolon threw on her fluffy slippers and dashed over, carefully pulling the phone out from beneath a stray stack of underwear. She held the vibrating device with both hands as if it were a scorching hot potato. Why haven't you picked it up yet? It's been ringing for so long. Failing to answer an incoming call is considered highly impolite by human standards. But this is a call from Master's mother. It must be incredibly important. I don't comprehend the complex social etiquette of biological life forms. Just let me handle it. Yuan used her tiny mechanical finger to aggressively swipe across the screen, connecting the call. Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am. Did that brat of mine get kidnapped on campus or something? Why did it take this long to pick up? Have you two eaten lunch yet? Ah, yes, we have, ma'am. Actually, ji ba das friend. My name is Xiaolon. Oh my goodness, what an absolutely lovely voice. You must visit our house sometime soon, so I can finally meet you in person. Xiao Lan's face instantly flushed a violent crimson, casting a desperate look toward Yuan for backup. All right, I won't tease you anymore, sweetheart. Just tell Jibata to make sure he heads back home the moment his classes end tonight. Some very important relatives are visiting our house. So tell him he absolutely cannot skip dinner. Understood, Mom. I will make sure to pass along the message. Immediately, the other end of the line promptly went dead, leaving behind nothing but a monotonous dial tone. Master completely forgot to bring his phone. How on earth are we supposed to notify him that he needs to return home tonight? You mentioned it's a matter of utmost importance, so the solution is simple. We just need to personally deliver the phone to his university campus. But Master strictly forbade me from wandering too far on my own. He's terrified that I'll get completely lost. You won't. Be alone. You have me. I will handle the real-time navigation, optimize the transit route, and monitor the surrounding environment. It is mathematically impossible to get lost. This is a high-priority mission for Master. Any delay would be highly unacceptable. Let's move out. Time to locate Master. You're totally right, Yuan. Let's go find Master right now. Xiaolon hurriedly changed into her classic maid outfit and slung a small handbag over her shoulder, carefully tucking Ba Da's smartphone inside. After double-checking her keys and pocket change, she called out, I am heading out to find Master now. The rest of you toys must stay on your best behavior at home. Wait, don't leave me behind with these regular adult novelties. I am an advanced cybernetic life form, capable of transforming into literally anything. Yuan pleaded, her mechanical chassis erupting in a vibrant blue light, and morphed into a sleek pair of headphones. Whoa, you can actually pull off a transformation like this. Xiaolon curiously slipped the headphones on, her eyes gleaming with absolute delight. Xiao! Lon pushed open the apartment door as a sudden hallway breeze brushed past. She instinctively clenched her fists tight. You got this, Xiaolon. You can totally do this. Xiaolon stole one last glance back at the cozy apartment, then turned and confidently bolted down the stairwell. Master, Xiaolon is officially on her way to campus to find you. Head downstairs and hang a left. Walk straight for 200 meters to locate the public bike-sharing dock, right outside the complex gates. But how exactly do I operate this thing? I've never tamed a metal beast like this before. I don't know how to ride it. Relax. I've already infiltrated their mainframe network. Battery levels are fully locked at 100%. Geofencing restrictions bypassed, activating automated autopilot mode. All you need to do is hop on the saddle. Xiaolon cautiously mounted the bicycle seat, her hands gripping the handlebars in a white-knuckle clutch. The bike suddenly let out a crisp beep, and the digital dashboard illuminated with a soft blue glow. The wheels began rolling forward on their own. Oh my goodness, it's actually moving. This is absolute magic. Xiaolon watched in awe as the vehicle autonomously dodged pedestrians and flawlessly recognized real-time traffic lights. Xiaolon gazed at the city's scenery, rapidly blurring past her. Little metal box, you are unbelievably smart. This is just standard basic protocol. For me, preparing to increase velocity for the upcoming stretch. Estimated arrival time at campus is precisely 20 minutes. Hold on tight. Xiaolon gasped as the bicycle aggressively accelerated, her hair dancing wildly in the rushing wind. This is insane. Xiaolon feels like she's literally about to take flight. Surrounding commuters inside passing cars and public buses cast highly bewildered, intrigued stares at her. The automated bike came to a perfectly smooth, stabilized halt right outside the gates of Zhonghai University. Xiaolon hopped down, smoothing her stray hair strands. Thank you so much. Take a right turn and proceed 300 meters to reach the primary entrance of Master's University. Move out. Xiao la note en tu citaste. Picking up her pace as she marched directly toward the campus gates, her face brimming with pure anticipation, her eyes sparkling. Xiaolon stood on her tiptoes, peering eagerly into the sprawling campus grounds. Just as she was about to step inside. Whoa, dude, look at that girl over there. She is absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. Holy crap, what a literal goddess. Is she a professional cosplayer or something? Man, she's top tier. Suddenly, a remarkably tall, broad-shouldered guy, sporting a suave, textbook handsome smile, strutted directly toward Xiaolon. Hey there, are you a freshman? Which department are you in? Me? Actually, I'm a sophomore. How about I personally escort you to the orientation booth? Oh, so you're not a freshman? Are you here visiting someone then? Could I grab your WeChat handle? If you ever need any assistance on campus, you can always count on us. I'm so sorry, but I absolutely cannot do that, because I already belong completely to my master. The two guys froze in absolute bewilderment, exchanging stunned glances. A master? Yes. I came to campus specifically to find my master. His name is Jibata, but thank you both so much for your kind offer. The two boys finally snapped out of their daze, their faces instantly contorting with pure, unadulterated envy. Damn it, I am literally dying of jealousy right now. Hey, young lady, do you just consider me completely invisible or what? Get over here right now. Step over here. I'm so sorry, sir. Xiaolon pouted her lips in an incredibly pitiful expression, timidly shuffling over to stand before the campus security guard. Fill out your information. In the logbook. Why aren't you writing? Don't you dare try to sneak past me. Right away, sir. Xiaolon accepted the pen, meticulously printing out Jibada's name and details on the form. Wait, your name. Bodo. University regulations strictly forbid students from sporting such loud, unnatural hair colors. But officer, this is actually my natural hair color. The very second I came out of the box, it was already this exact shade. Hold on, miss. Our database says you aren't even a registered student at this university. Little metal box, what on earth am I supposed to do now? Negative Ghost Rider, do not panic. I have successfully breached the campus network and seamlessly consolidated your digital identity profile directly with Masters. Take a few paces backward and let the security terminal rescan your face. Xiaolon immediately retreated a few steps, standing perfectly stationary in front of the camera lens. Her expression completely innocent and her movements incredibly swift. Department of Chinese Language and Literature, Class 3. Yibada, Exisgrintit. Welcome to campus. All right, you're good to go. Head inside and watch your step. So this is Masters University. Wow, it's absolutely gorgeous. Xiaolon skipped gleefully through the campus gates, admiring the lush greenery and vibrant flowers. Master is currently located inside Lecture Hall 302 within Academic Building 3 of the Literature Department. Proceed straight ahead and take a sharp right at the second intersection. Xiaolon meticulously followed the real-time directions. Whoa, look at that silver-haired girl over there. She's drop-dead gorgeous. Is that some high-tier cosplay or what? A crowd of students out on the sports field completely froze in their tracks, gaping blankly at Xiaolon as she turned right and glided down a beautifully shaded, tree-lined pathway. The moment Academic Building 3 of the Literature Department came into view, her eyes instantly lit up. She tightly gripped the strap of her small handbag, accelerating her pace as she rushed toward the lecture hall entrance. Just then, the bell rang. Endless streams of students flooded out from the classrooms, instantly turning the corridors and stairwells into a roaring, claustrophobic sea of noise. Little metal box, there are way too many people here. Do not yield to fear. The stairwell is positioned immediately to your right. Master is on the third floor. Commencing breach protocol. Xiaolon inhaled a deep, steady breath and promptly sprinted straight toward the crowded staircase. Excuse me, coming through. Sorry, please let me pass. I was slumped completely flat against my desk, occasionally letting out a lazy yawn, my eyes utterly lifeless. Getting through the day without my smartphone made the hours feel absolutely agonizing and eternal. Wait, is someone talking trash behind my back right now? I abruptly let out a violent sneeze, prompting the classmates seated right in front of me to spin around. Yo, massive breaking news, guys. I literally just spotted an absolute 10 out of 10 goddess downstairs. Shangfeng bolted in while aggressively adjusting his pants, sneaking through the back door and sliding heavily into the seat right next to Jibata. What? Did you finally see that cafeteria lady you've been obsessing over day and night? No, way better. It's a silver-haired girl dressed in a full maid outfit, looking like she straight up stepped out of a top-tier anime. A massive crowd has completely swarmed her, anxiously snapping photos. Shang Feng gestured wildly with his hands, describing the scene with absolute ecstasy. I'm gonna go sneak a peek myself. Hearing the words silver-haired maid, my entire body instantly shot upright, my face contorted with sheer panic as I violently leaped out of my seat, the metal chair legs screeching aggressively against the linoleum floor. Meanwhile, the chaotic commotion out in the hallway was growing deafeningly loud. The thumping of frantic footsteps, a barrage of loud gossiping, and excited shouting were rapidly approaching, brimming with intense curiosity. Every single student turned their attention toward Lecture Hall 302. Master, where exactly are you? Xiao Lan has finally come to find you. Holy crap. Why on earth did she actually come all the way to campus? What the hell is causing such a massive ruckus out there? The entire classroom, along with the professor, simultaneously pivoted their heads to stare directly at the doorway and windows. Even the female professor peered out with intense curiosity. Master, Xiao Lan's gaze sharply scanned past the room numbers, immediately locking onto her exact target, Lecture Hall 302. Peering directly through the glass window pane, she spotted my figure, an absolutely radiant, brilliant smile instantly erupting across her face. Master, I've finally successfully tracked you down. Xiao Lan completely ignored the aggressive crowd, snapping photos all around her, taking gleeful, energetic strides as she burst right into the classroom. She flung her arms wide open and lunged straight toward Jibata. Every single student in the lecture hall and out in the hallway stood frozen in absolute, sheer shock. The very next second, a chaotic storm of shutter clicks and frantic whispering erupted. Oh my god, did she seriously just call Jibata her master? Professor, a major family emergency just came up. I urgently need to request a half-day leave. If it's truly an emergency, then hurry along. Master, your mother literally just called. She wants you to make sure you head home for dinner tonight. Since you forgot your phone, I had to come find you. But remember, in public, you have to call me Jibata. Your mom explicitly told me you need to come home tonight. Wait, Xiao Lan. Are you seriously Xiao Lan? Yes, ma'am. I am indeed Xiao Lan. Hello there. Shinkai abruptly bolted upright from his seat, his eyes completely glued onto Xiao Lan as his pupils violently dilated. I froze in my tracks for a split second before grabbing Xiao Lan by the wrist and frantically dragging her straight out of the classroom. Moments later, I slid into the back seat of a hailing taxi. I leaned heavily back against the seat, letting out a massive sigh of absolute relief, my face finally relaxing completely. Master, are you not happy to see me? Did Xiao Lan do something wrong? Xiao Lan anxiously huddled closer to my side. I unlocked my smartphone screen, only to be completely buried under a relentless avalanche of chat notifications. The displays show that the school's online forum was already trending with posts about us. I frustratingly shut off the display, letting out a deeply exhausted sigh. How on earth did you track me down all the way here? And how did the campus security guard even let you inside? It was the little metal box. She assisted me, and even summoned a yellow metal steed to transport me directly to your location. After a quick digital scan, the security officer immediately granted me access. Xiao Lan detached the headphones and carefully handed them to Jibata. I answered the call. Seriously, which important relative could possibly be visiting that requires me to rush home so urgently tonight? Your aunt is visiting. Make absolutely sure to bring Xiao Lan along with you, okay? Your mother hasn't even had the chance to meet her in person yet. The vibrant, booming voice of Zhang Limai echoed loudly from the other end of the line. I promptly hung up the phone, glancing down at Xiao Lan beside me and Yuan resting on the tray table. My lingering irritation completely vanished. I looked at Xiao Lan with absolute seriousness. From now on, you can call me Master when we are privately at home. But the second we step outside, you must address me by my name or call me Big Brother. Furthermore, this maid outfit is way too eye-catching in public. You need to switch to regular clothing. Understood? I will remember. Whatever Brother Jibata fancies, that is exactly what I shall wear. Good girl. Weren't you terrified, venturing out into the city all by yourself today? I was a little startled at first, but the moment I realized Master was stranded without his smartphone and couldn't receive any vital alerts. I knew I absolutely had to track you down. Xiaolon delicately gathered her maid's skirt, dropping down onto a single knee as she reached her hands out, attempting to unbuckle Ji Ba Da's leather belt. My face instantly flushed a violent crimson, and I frantically held Xiaolan's head back. Well, look at the time. It's way too early for this. Let's finish dinner first before we discuss anything else. Xiaolan leaned up and planted a sweet kiss on my cheek, skipping happily into the kitchen. I sat on the edge of the mattress, opening my phone. The class group chat was practically exploding with infinite messages flying past. Everyone still aggressively gossiping about the wild scene from earlier today. Shaking my head helplessly, I scroll my finger down the screen. Bro, is that high-tier maid seriously your actual girlfriend? The neighboring university's student forum was likewise completely blown up with viral threads. She's my personal girlfriend, so I could treat her however the hell I please. I pouted my lips, muttering defiantly to myself. Suddenly, a notification popped up. I am Shun Ka. A friend request materialized on the screen. The profile picture featuring a sharp, highly sophisticated sketch of an elegant woman, utilizing the username. Rant's nature. She's finally made her move. My index finger hovered directly over the glass panel. My expression dead serious. I firmly brought my fingertip down and tapped the accept button. Zibaza, Tat Go Ninet Xiaolan. Why on earth does she look identical to the character in my artwork? Honestly, I'd love to know that myself. Who exactly did you base that illustration on? There has to be a real-world reference model. I didn't use any reference model at all. She is an original character entirely designed by me. Then how do you explain the fact that my girlfriend looks exactly like your original creation? Even her name matches perfectly. Talk about an insane coincidence. My family actually runs an adult novelty business. Xiaolan is the primary flagship character of the custom-made series that I personally conceptualized. Every single detail of her lore and profile was written by me. The screen indicated that the other party was typing, and that status indicator lingered for several tense minutes before a massive, detailed block of text finally generated. So she's the literal mastermind behind Xiaolan's original design profile. The deep tension on my face instantly melted away, a subtle smirk playing on my lips. This online store belongs to your family's brand, right? A close friend of mine actually gifted me that exact model doll. Shortly after, I crossed paths with the real-life Xiaolan. Because she bore such an uncanny resemblance to the doll, I pursued her, and even bought her a replica maid outfit. I dug up a screenshot of the digital receipt, sent it over, and rapidly tapped out another message. Wow, I see. Your girlfriend genuinely looks like a carbon copy. Though running an adult novelty business is definitely an amusing icebreaker. Hey, it's already 2026. What's wrong with selling novelties? Even I've purchased them before. Your family's design blueprints boast remarkably high quality. Could this be considered a twist of absolute fate? You closet pervert? Why do you seem so incredibly talkative online, when you're usually so quiet and reserved during lectures? Well, that's just how we are in the digital age. Introverted in reality, but an absolute keyboard warrior online. Master, dinner is fully prepared. It's time to eat. Xiaolan called out as she stepped out from the kitchen. Gotta slide. The real-world version of your doll is summoning me for dinner. Let's catch up later when we get the chance. Were you just chatting with my mother? Wait, do I actually have a mother? Xiaolan gasped, covering her mouth with wide, astonished eyes. I chuckled softly, walking out of the bedroom, as Xiaolan trailed closely behind me, continuing her interrogation. Yuan's digital interface lit up with an intensely curious emoji as she silently monitored the archived chat history. After finishing my shower, I walked back into the bedroom while drying my hair, tossing the towel over a chair. Master, hurry on over. Xiaolan has already perfectly warmed up the mattress for you. Xiaolan, dressed in her signature pink little devil pajamas, lay right at the edge of the bed, playfully patting the empty space beside her. Hey, this setup doesn't look like a standard massage at all. I stammered, looking at her completely flustered. I reluctantly lay down right beside Xiaolan, firmly grabbing her mischievous little hands to keep them in check. But Xiaolan just wanted to get a little closer and more intimate with Master, that's all. Xiaolan blinked her deep crimson eyes, her face full of pure innocence as she wiggled her fingers free to resume her playful teasing. Suddenly, my smartphone on the nightstand vibrated aggressively, its screen illuminating with a brand new notification. It was an urgent WeChat text from Shangfeng. I picked up the device, and Xiaolan leaned her head close, resting her chin on my shoulder as I typed. Bro, we've got a massive situation. You and Xiaolan are completely blowing up on Site S. The frantic message from Shangfeng flashed across the screen. Damn it, not a sketchy platform like Site S again. I thought to myself, clicking the hyperlink with a grim expression. The sketchy, underground interface of Site S filled my screen, featuring a massive, bold headline. Silver-haired goddess and college heartthrob's intense master-servant affair. Directly underneath was a barrage of heavily pixelated photos and blurred video clips capturing our passionate classroom embrace. My pupils violently dilated in sheer shock, and a massive rush of heat instantly surged straight to my face. What kind of messed up website is this? Whoa, Xiaolan hasn't even attempted any of these wild moves yet. Master, should the two of us give them a shot sometime? Xiaolan is highly eager to learn. Xiaolan's crimson eyes sparkled with curiosity as her finger scrolled further down, her gaze growing more intense by the second. She gently nudged Jibada's arm. Meanwhile, Yuan chimed in. Master, would you like me to permanently purge all data associated with this leak from the net? Can you actually pull that off? Mission accomplished, Master. Every single affiliated rogue application has been thoroughly obliterated, and the university's official student forum is currently experiencing a catastrophic technical failure, rendering login servers completely offline for the time being. If anyone encounters any issues, report them immediately. A class group announcement from the professor pinged everyone. Holy crap, Yuan, you are a literal genius. Everything that happened today is entirely my fault. I gently wrapped my arms around Xiaolan's slender waist, leaning down to seal her lips with a deep kiss. As we finally broke apart, she whispered, That's right, it's all Xiaolan's fault. So Master must punish Xiaolan thoroughly right now. Xiaolan's face flushed a violent crimson, looping her arms tightly around my neck. The next morning, Jibada was awoken by clattering noises coming from the kitchen. I blinked my eyes open, staring blankly up at the ceiling. Xiaolan was already busy prepping breakfast. Suddenly, the digital interface, resting on the desk, vibrated, glowing with a soft blue hue as Yuan's custom avatar. Flashed repeatedly. Yuan, do you literally never sleep? Good morning. Master, I have been meticulously tracking the global financial markets all night. The current total balance inside your primary trading account has officially reached 3,547,821 yuan. 547.821 yuan. Over 3 million yuan. Yuan, you are an absolute god. Receiving validation from Master is my highest honor. Yuan will continue to optimize asset allocation with maximum effort. Xiaolan poked her head in through the bedroom doorway. Master, you're finally awake. Hurry up and wash your face. Breakfast is almost fully served. As Jibada brushed past Xiaolan, he casually gave her waist a playful tap. Master, you're so naughty. Xiaolan suddenly remembered something, letting out a small gasp before frantically bolting back toward the kitchen. Oh no, my fried eggs. The dining table was meticulously set with fresh milk, heart-shaped sunny-side-up eggs, and perfectly golden toast, all arranged with stunning aesthetic precision. Now that we've accumulated some serious capital, what do you say we upgrade to a much larger, luxurious apartment? That sounds absolutely wonderful. Whatever Master decides is the ultimate law. Xiaolan will follow Master's lead in everything. Jibada reached out and gently stroked Xiaolan's hair, his gaze brimming with warmth. Xiaolan, trailing behind him like a devoted little puppy, followed him back into the bedroom to help organize his university bag. As Jibada slipped on his shoes and stood up, Xiaolan stepped forward to carefully adjust his collar and smooth out the slight creases on his button-down shirt. Today, Master looks exceptionally dashing as always. Stay safe at home and be a good girl while waiting for me. If anything urgent pops up, ping me immediately via WeChat. Understood. Goodbye, Master. May your journey be blessed with absolute safety and smooth travels. He then stood right outside the back door of his lecture hall, taking a deep, steady breath. Before pushing it open, the entire classroom fell into a dead, instantaneous silence. Every single pair of eyes locking directly onto Jibata. Bro, is that literal goddess actually your real-life girlfriend? She is insanely beautiful. Wait, is her silver hair actually real? Or a wig? Shang Feng instantly launched himself forward like a homing missile. Spill the beans right now, man. What on earth was the real story behind yesterday's viral stunt? That silver-haired maid who called you. Master, is she seriously your girlfriend? Man, don't even bring it up. We just got into a massive argument a couple of days ago, so she threw on that wild outfit just to deliberately mess with my head. Holy crap, she pulled off a massive stunt like that just because of a lover's quarrel. Hey man, does your girlfriend happen to need a backup boyfriend? What I mean is, does she have a twin sister or any close friends? Honestly, I wouldn't mind that kind of punishment at all. But for real though, do you two actually roleplay? That master-servant dynamic behind closed doors? Get out of here. Quit asking such unhinged questions. Hurry up and get back to your seats. The professor is walking in. Shang Feng and the other guys let out a barrage of locker room chuckles. Before dispersing, playfully winking and mouthing silent jokes across the room. Jibata raised his head, his gaze unexpectedly locking with Shinka's. Shinka quickly averted her eyes, snapping her head down to resume her sketching. Up on the podium, the advanced mathematics professor began taking roll call. Moments later, the dismissal bell rang. Jibata and Shang Feng slung their arms over each other's shoulders. As they walked out of the classroom, suddenly, Shinka stood by her desk and called Jibata over, clutching a brown craft paper folder. Jibata, this is for you. Inside is her complete original design portfolio, including the Excel layout sheets, concept sketches, and the foundational character settings. Thank you. Furthermore, are you and her free this coming Saturday evening? I'd like to treat you both to dinner. The person you actually want to meet is her, isn't it? Yes, it is. Are you free? All right, let me check with her later. Jibata and Shang Feng finished up their lunch, leisurely strolling out onto the athletic field. Good afternoon, master. Jibata's face flushed crimson, as he quickened his pace to get away. Yo, Bada, you're officially a major celebrity. On campus now. You gotta hook me up with an autograph, man. Fall in, everyone. Form up. First, we'll warm up with a light jog of 2 laps around the track. The scattered formation began to awkwardly move out, and Jibata blended into the middle of the pack. Coach Wang, holding a clipboard, started taking attendance. Today we are conducting fitness assessments for the standing long jump and pull-ups. We will begin with the jump. 1 by 1, step up to the starting line. Taking a deep breath, the first student swung his arms, bent his knees, and leaped forward. 2.85 meters. An immediate wave of impressed murmurs erupted from the crowd. Shang Feng stepped up to the line, swung his arms, and leaped. 2.45 meters. Not bad at all. Shinka effortlessly floated across the line, landing smoothly at 2.15 meters, maintaining a completely expressionless face. As she walked back to the group, Jibata, you're up next. The crowd instantly fell silent, staring at Jibata with intense curiosity. Jibata walked up to the mark, loosely rolling his ankles. To loosen up, hearing a group of girls cheering for him, he felt slightly helpless. Master, you've got this. Jibata bent his knees, swung his arms, and executed a casual leap. Suddenly, his body felt extraordinarily weightless, sailing through the air and clearing more than half the sandpit. 3 meters. Holy crap. 3.72 meters. Loud cheers erupted. Coach Wang rushed over to personally remeasure. So you're that master guy everyone's talking about, huh? Wait, even you're in on this inside joke, coach? Move over to the 100-meter track. Let me see what kind of raw speed you've got. Have you been secretly training in track and field? Honestly, no, I haven't. On your marks. Get set. Jibata instinctively locked into a sprint stance and violently launched himself forward, unleashing explosive, unbelievable speed. 10.03 seconds flat. With raw talent like this, you could easily dominate the provincial team. For next month's campus-wide athletic championship, I'm personally signing you up for every single track event. Go secure absolute glory for the literature department. Jibata felt a massive headache coming on, frantically trying to decline. Meanwhile, a group of girls resting under the shade of the trees kept stealing frequent, captivated glances at Jibata. Seated all alone in a secluded corner, Shunka worked on a sketch, occasionally lifting her gaze to observe Jibata from afar. The taxi ground to a halt right outside the apartment gates. Jibata paid the fare and stepped out. "Brother Jibata, you're finally home." Xiaolan cheered excitedly, bolting forward and diving directly into Jibata's arms, burying her head against his chest. Jibata firmly caught her in his embrace, gently stroking her soft hair. "Were you a good girl at home today?" Xiaolan was exceptionally well-behaved. Jibata locked hands with Xiaolan as they strolled back into the residential complex. "Master, you should go take a refreshing shower first." Once he finished freshening up, Jibata pulled the brown craft paper document folder out from his backpack, tearing open the security seal and emptying the contents onto the bed. Inside lay the complete design blueprints printed cleanly on A4 sheets, featuring comprehensive turnaround sketches of Xiaolan from multiple angles, highly detailed 3D renderings, and fully rendered color concepts. Suddenly, a vibrant, finished color illustration slid out. The fierce, commanding expression of the silver-haired girl depicted in the artwork possessed an aura that was completely different from the innocent Xiaolan. Right then, his smartphone screen illuminated. Shinka had sent a dinner invitation via WeChat this Saturday evening at 6 o'clock at the Rendezvous restaurant downtown. "Will it be convenient for you and your girlfriend?" "Shinka invited us to dinner this Saturday. Would you like to go?" "Anything works for me. I'll completely follow Master's lead." "It works perfectly for us. Xiaolan and I will arrive precisely on time." "Thank you, Master." Jibada selected a playful sticker of a panda clad in imperial robes. Tapping send. Moving with relaxed ease, Jibada leaned deep into his gaming chair, gently running his fingers through Xiaolan's silver locks while operating the mouse to bring up his stock trading dashboard. 1541 Master. "Master, hurry up and audit the spectacular financial harvest yuan secured for you." It read, 9,876,452.3 yuan. "Holy crap, you actually helped me rake in nearly 10 million yuan. Yuan, filter the luxury real estate listings in Jianghai City that are over 120 square meters." The digital interface instantly commenced a rapid, flashing scroll through extensive data of premium housing projects and floor layout blueprints. Yuan locked into high-efficiency operational mode. Command acknowledged, Master. Currently accessing database. The local real estate market servers. Master is honestly the most incredible. Mon Alive. Jibata leaned forward, sliding his hands right beneath Xiaolan's arms, and lifting her gently to sit upon his lap. "You really are a seductive little enchantress. Since we're heading out to meet Shanka this coming Saturday, do you perfectly remember the cover story I taught you? Ido. My name is Yi Xiaolan, and I am a Sino-Russian mixed-race girl. My father hails from China, while my mother is Russian. I am 20 years old, natural silver-haired, and I am the official girlfriend of Jibata." Xiaolan's eyes narrowed into delightful, crescent moons of pure joy as she leaned forward to passionately kiss Jibata, leaving a distinct smacking sound. "Whoa, hold on, Xiaolan. You haven't even brushed your teeth yet." Xiaolan giggled excitedly, thoroughly rummaging through her wardrobe. "Master, does this elegant white sundress look beautiful on me? Or perhaps this light blue knit sweater paired with a stylish skirt would look even better?" Jibata casually leaned against the doorframe, watching Xiaolan's frantic fashion show with a smile. "Honestly, you look stunning in absolutely anything. Just throw on that beige knit sweater and a pair of classic blue jeans. It looks fresh, clean, and utterly mesmerizing. I will obey Master's absolute command." The moment Xiaolan finished changing, Jibata firmly locked hands with her as they set off. Shenka was already waiting patiently beneath a parasol tree outside the restaurant entrance, gazing down at her smartphone screen, her side profile looking remarkably elegant and serene. "Hey, Shenka." Hearing her name called out, she instantly snapped her head up, her gaze initially locked on Jibata, before instantly shifting to focus heavily on Xiaolan, her eyes violently widening in shock. Shenka instinctively took a staggered step forward, her stunned gaze sweeping intensely from Xiaolan's facial features to her striking hair. "Hello, sister. My name is Yi Xiaolon. Oh wow, hello there. I am Shenka. This is absolutely unbelievable. You are an exact carbon copy. Shenka quickly guided the two of them inside the establishment, leading the way toward a premium reservation booth located right next to the glass facade. As the three of them settled around the window table, Shenka eagerly pulled her custom sketch portfolio out from her designer handbag. Take a close look at this. Oh my gosh, she looks identical to me. Brother Jibata, look at this. Isn't this absolutely insane? The very second I spotted you back at the university campus, I genuinely thought I was experiencing a vivid hallucination. Hey, hold on, you two. If you keep showering her with this much intense affection, my girlfriend might just end up getting swept away by you. I'm just completely blown away by this bizarre twist of absolute fate. Alright, doesn't the character roster you conceptualized also feature a seductive demoness? Her name was Xiaoling, right? The younger sister Xiaolon. Yes, that's correct. Xiaoling was explicitly designed as Xiaolan's twin sister, but with a highly rebellious, mischievous, and chaotic personality, who takes absolute pleasure in teasing and tormenting others. She's basically the quintessential little devil archetype. Did that model ever go into production? The physical prototypes were fully manufactured, but the initial consumer market reception for that specific lineup was rather mediocre. Consequently, we halted production and locked the remaining stock away in the warehouse. I see. Then, what exactly is the #1 best-selling flagship product in your family's catalog? Our absolute undisputed bestseller this past year is our signature themed collection, specifically the Doting Wife and Sensual Educator series. In fact, the signature wife model alone has generated tens of thousands of individual orders. Ise. Well, if I'm being completely honest, I actually happen to be a massive fan of that specific wife and teacher lineup myself. Oh, please, let's cut to the chase. That chaotic demoness model, Xiaoling. Is there any way you could sell her directly to me? I was thinking that displaying her right next to Xiaolon would make for an incredibly entertaining dynamic. Bro, you already possess such a gorgeous real-life girlfriend. Why on earth are you still obsessed with collecting dolls? Exactly. Tell you what, tomorrow morning, I'll personally head down to the warehouse, pack her up, and ship her over. That's amazing. Just name your price, and I'll wire the funds directly to your account. No need for that at all, man. Consider this a complimentary gift from me as a token of my gratitude. Gratitude? For what exactly? For the fact that even after discovering what my family's business entails, you didn't mock or ridicule me like the others. Back in high school, whenever classmates found out, I became an absolute laughingstock. Hey, an honest profession is an honest profession no matter the industry. The consumer demand is clear as day. Besides, your illustrations are genuinely top tier, and your character profiles possess incredible depth. Do you also write web novels or something? Yeah, do. Just a little side hustle to put food on the table. Wow, I never would have guessed. You're completely different from your quiet persona at school. The atmosphere inside the establishment was exceptionally relaxed, warm, and full of laughter. As the three of them finally stepped back outside, a crisp, chilly evening breeze brushed against them. The city's vibrant neon lights began to flicker awake, illuminating the bustling crowds of people. Jibata, Shunka, and Xiaolon leisurely strolled along the pedestrian boulevard. Jibata and Shunka kept up an engaging conversation, while Xiaolon walked blissfully with her arm tightly looped through Jibata's, curiously peering around at the dazzling shopfronts. Wenva Xiaolan overheard a particularly amusing remark. From their banter, she would lift her radiant face and beam happily at Jibata. Arriving at a major intersection, Shunka paused as they waited for the pedestrian light to turn green. Gently brushing a stray strand of her long hair behind her ear, she turned to them. Well, it's getting quite late already, so I should probably start heading over toward the subway station. Thank you both so much for coming out to join me tonight. Oh, you're heading back already? We were actually planning to walk around a bit longer to pick up some new household items for our place. Let's definitely save that for next time. And hey, as for the Xiaoling model, I'll get her fully sorted out and dispatched to you tomorrow morning. That works perfectly. Sorry to trouble you. Goodbye. Bye-bye, Sister Shunka. Jibata and Xiaolon waved goodbye as they bid her farewell. Watching Shunka's figure gradually vanish into the dense ocean of commuters, Jiba They gave Xiaolan's hand a gentle, affectionate squeeze. All right, let's head back home ourselves. Meanwhile, over at the dusty family storage unit, Shunka located a massive, dust-covered cardboard crate. Wielding a box cutter, she carefully sliced through the heavy packing tape. I'm so incredibly sorry for leaving you locked up in the dark like this for so long. But starting tomorrow, you'll finally be going to someone who truly appreciates you. The guy who requested you claims he wants to adopt you and your sister as premium collector's items. Honestly, I usually take those claims with a grain of salt, but he doesn't seem like a bad person at all. Shinka deftly resealed the cardboard container with fresh packing tape and stood up. Suddenly, a chilling, mocking voice resonated right behind her back, of a mysterious girl, causing her pupils to violently contract. An illusion, you say? Shinka whipped her head around, but the storage room was pitch black. Rubbing her aching temples, she slammed the heavy iron door shut. The next morning, Jibata was abruptly jolted awake by an urgent phone call from a delivery courier. Shuffling over to open the front door, Jibata spotted a massive cardboard crate standing half as tall as a grown man, leaving him utterly dumbfounded. He grabbed a box cutter, slicing through the heavy packing tape and layers of protective bubble wrap, only to reveal a silver-haired figure curled up tightly at the very bottom of the box. It was none other than Xiaoling. A full week has officially elapsed. Commencing the selection of the host's target item to initiate the next systemic upgrade phase. Target upgrade item successfully identified. High-tier custom Demonis model, Xiaoling. Suddenly, Xiaoling's body began to emanate a soft, radiant white luminescence, and her striking, heart-shaped crimson eyes slowly blinked open, her gaze sharply focusing on her surroundings. Ugh, what an incredibly sluggish master we have here. Are you seriously just going to stand there and stare at me forever? Hurry up and help me out. Xiaoling found herself awkwardly wedged inside the tight packaging, struggling frantically to break free. Jibata, handle with care. I carefully hoisted her out of the cramped crate and placed her down in an open space right in the middle of the living room. Well, you don't exactly look like anyone legendary to me, but since our binding contract is officially finalized, I guess I'll be generous enough to address you as my master. You better be profoundly grateful, okay? So, master, do we have anything delicious to eat around here? Jiba casually walked over toward the kitchen refrigerator, with Xiaoling trailing closely behind him like a persistent little shadow. She pointed a delicate finger straight at a frosted cake inside. Master, Xiaoling absolutely demands to eat this. Go right ahead. Ibada smiled, handing the entire dessert over to Xiaoling along with a plastic cake knife and a small fork. Xiaoling sat cross-legged right on the living room floor, shoving a massive cream-filled bite into her mouth. Oh my God, this is heavenly. So sweet. Xiaoling is literally on the verge of crying tears of pure joy. I seriously didn't expect a broke, low-tier master like you to hoard such exquisite delicacies in your apartment. For this alone, I will graciously grant you a tiny bit of praise. You're a decent servant, master. Xiaoling finished off the entire dessert, carefully licking the stray frosting from her lips while stealing a sly glance at Jibata. Without warning, she leaped onto Jibada's lap, locking her arms tightly around his neck. Now that I'm fully fed, it's time to replenish my vital demonic reserve. The raw, masculine spiritual energy of humans is the absolute ultimate life source for our kind. So, surrender your physical body to Xiaoling right this instant. Suddenly, the bedroom door clicked open, and Xiaolan stepped into the room. Rubbing her groggy eyes, she gasped, wait. Xiaolan's precious cake has been completely devoured. Xiaolan's gaze locked onto the empty dessert tray, her crimson eyes instantly welling up with profound heartbreak. Xiaoling immediately slid off Jibada's lap, launching herself forward like a miniature homing missile and crashing straight into Xiaolan. Straight into her embrace. Sister, it's me, your little sister Xiaoling. Xiaoling has finally reunited with you, sister. I missed you so incredibly much. Xiaolan instinctively caught Xiaoling in her arms, gazing down at the silver head buried against her chest with an utterly blank expression. Who exactly are you? Do the two of us actually know each other? Wait, you seriously don't remember Xiaoling? I am your actual, literal, biological twin sister. because Xiao Lan's initial consciousness upload had been fragmented. She vaguely recalled having siblings in her core programming, but she couldn't distinctly recognize each specific individual. Jibada stepped forward, gently patting Xiao Lan's shoulder to calm her down, while filling in the blanks for Xiao Ling, then dragged Xiao Lan and Jibada together into the master bedroom. Xiao Ling hopped right onto the mattress, sitting cross-legged. Sister, you were manufactured first. 1717 back in the warehouse. I could constantly feel your warm, comforting consciousness right next to mine. I can clearly feel a warm and deeply affectionate presence nearby. We even used to converse via data links all the time. You told me you were eagerly looking forward to being adopted by a wonderful master. But shortly after that, your signal completely vanished from the network. After that, I was packed tightly into a dark crate and shipped out as well, wandering through transit until Master finally claimed my delivery. First things first, you need to change out of that outfit. From now on, absolutely no walking around the house dressed like that. Zibaza stood up, rummaging through the wardrobe to pull out a casual graphic tee and a pair of shorts belonging to Xiao Lan, handing them over to Xiao Ling. Oh, is Master getting flustered and bashful on me? You already felt everything when you hoisted me out of the box. And now you're suddenly acting all shy? Wow, that is incredibly adorable. Hey, you are absolutely not allowed to tease Master like that. Fine, I get it. Xiao Ling giggled, swiftly changing into the casual clothes. She then casually held out her discarded lace lingerie set and tossed it directly toward Jibada. Here, Master, consider this a premium blessing from Xiao Ling. Feel free to use it for whatever wicked desires you have. Jibada caught the garments, casually throwing them straight into the washing machine. He let out an amused chuckle, completely unfazed. This is spectacular. We are finally reunited under the exact same roof, and we even get to serve the absolute same master. This is a match made in heaven. Xiao Ling leaned tightly against Xiao Lan, affectionately wrapping her arms around her sister's shoulder. Suddenly, a sharp, mechanical clicking sound echoed from the computer desk. A few seconds later, the pocket-sized mechanical assistant, Yuan, manifested right on the surface. Master, why on earth has another high-tier adult novelty item been added to our household inventory? Whoa, sister, hurry up and look at this. It's a talking tin can from outer space. Excuse me, I am absolutely not a tin can. I am an ultra-high-order AI mechanical life form. You shall address me as Yuan. Listen here, you newly arrived adult toy. I am absolutely not a tin can. Keep testing me, and I will thoroughly corrupt your vital life data into a cascade of critical, fatal error codes. Jibada massaged his temples, an amused smirk inadvertently playing on his lips. He leaned casually against the headboard, scrolling through a relentless barrage of local real estate listings on his phone. Meanwhile, Xiao Ling, dragging a pair of oversized house slippers that were way too large for her tiny feet, came waddling clumsily back into the bedroom. She nimbly scrambled onto the mattress, squeezing herself directly between Jibada's arms and his smartphone screen. What on earth are you doing, Master? Drop everything right now and come play with Xiao Ling. Jibada placed his phone down onto the nightstand, looping his arm gently around Xiao Ling's slender waist, resting his chin softly against the crown of her head. Hey, quit being so mischievous. I'm browsing real estate because we need to move. Our current apartment is way too cramped. Soon enough, we won't have enough space. Wait, does that mean you already find Xiao Ling to be an annoying nuisance? Are you planning to throw me away? I promise I can eat less or even sleep back inside my box. Xiao Ling's entire body suddenly stiffened, her tiny face snapping up to look at him. A brief flash of sheer panic flickered through her eyes. Jibada instantly froze, looking down to lock eyes with her anxious, trembling, crimson gaze. His heart completely melted in an instant. Why on earth would you think that? Back at the production facility, so many of my sisters were ruthlessly scrapped and thrown out, just because they had minor defects. Rest assured, I will absolutely never abandon you. The sole reason I'm upgrading to a massive house is to comfortably accommodate all of you girls. Even though Master is a complete and total idiot. Xiao Ling will choose to believe you this once. Her cheeks flushed a soft pink, and a tiny smile tugged at the corners of her lips. though she raised her voice slightly to mask her overwhelming shyness. We literally just met this morning, and you already trust me this much? Well, the older model said that once a master adopts you, they will take you absolutely everywhere. By the way, master, why haven't you tried to get physically intimate with me yet? Is it because you think I'm not nearly as beautiful or desirable as my sister? Ibe das Gaze inadvertently subbed across links flores, tempting silhouette. Panic-stricken, he frantically changed the subject. Let's focus on browsing. The new house first. Once we've officially moved into the new place, we can figure out all of that. Good morning, master. The projected profit margin for your primary trading account today is actively on track to shatter our previous historical records. Xiaolon, sporting a cute little bear-themed apron with her silver hair tied up in a high bun, heard the sound of approaching footsteps. She spun around, flashing a breathtakingly radiant smile. Master, you're finally awake. What kind of mouth-watering delicacy are you whipping up today? Pan-fried pork buns and freshly brewed soy milk. It's a brand new custom recipe I just mastered yesterday. Hurry up and wash your face, master. Breakfast is almost fully served. Oh, right, Xiaolon. Tonight, I need you to come back to my parents' house with me for a visit. They explicitly requested to meet you. Wait, meet master's actual parents. What should I prepare? What kind of outfit should I wear? Do we need to bring premium gifts? Jibata gently took hold of her trembling hands, offering reassurance. His tone exceptionally tender. There's absolutely no need to be nervous. Just act natural. Leave all the preparations to me. And just follow my lead, okay? Understood. Xiaolon will definitely put on her absolute best performance. Right then, the bedroom door opened, and Xiao Ling stepped out, rubbing her eyes sluggishly as she waddled over. Sister, master, Xiao Ling is starving. Go brush your teeth first. Only after you've brushed your teeth are you allowed to eat breakfast. But Xiao Ling doesn't want to brush her teeth. Jibata effortlessly scooped her up, marching straight into the bathroom and planting her right in front of the sink. He squeezed out a dollop of toothpaste, shoving the brush into her hand. Xiao Ling puffed out her cheeks as she brushed, glaring intensely into the mirror with a hilariously defiant expression. Moments later, the three of them sat around the small dining table for breakfast. Xiaolon carefully cut a pan-fried bun into bite-sized pieces for Xiao Ling, gently blowing on it to cool it down. Wow, this is amazing. Sister, you're the absolute best. Xiaolon stepped forward to help Jibata adjust the collar of his dress shirt. Standing on her tiptoes, with undivided attention, Jibata lowered his head, planting a soft, tender kiss on his Xiao Lan's delicate cheek, his expression entirely natural and brimming with pure adoration. Ugh, you're so annoying, master. Xiao Ling huffed in annoyance, storming into the kitchen to swing the fridge open. She grabbed a fresh bottle of water, thrusting it aggressively toward Jibata. Here, you foolish master. Take this water to drink on your way to class. Ah, Xiao Ling is such a good girl. Oof. Xiao Ling is totally not happy right now. Just then, his smartphone buzzed with a direct notification from Yuan Yuan. My dearest master, wishing you an absolutely safe journey today. Love you, Yuan Yuan. Jibata grabbed his university backpack. Waving a fond goodbye. Xiaolon stood gracefully by the doorway, while Xiao Ling clung to the frame, poking her tiny head out. See you later, master. Have a safe trip, master. Jibata slung his backpack over his shoulder, stepping through the dappled patches of warm sunlight as he made his way toward the lecture hall, completely ignoring the whispering crowds and judging stares, without throwing them a single glance. Suddenly, Shenka approached from an intersecting walkway. Well, if it isn't Jibata. Ah, the great and legendary designer Shenka. Jibata paused in his tracks, waiting for her to catch up, his tone completely relaxed and friendly. The two of them walked side by side toward the main academic building, navigating through the dense sea of rushing students. Shenka stole a quick glance at him. So, that Xiao Ling model, did the package arrive safely? Yeah, it arrived. Delivery was incredibly fast. Thanks a lot. What I actually meant to ask is, how exactly does it feel to use her? Hey, don't try to trap me. I already told you she's purely for my private collection. At most, I'll just be closely examining the hyper-realistic craftsmanship up close. Just closely examining her, huh? What else would I do? I already have a gorgeous girlfriend. Why would I play with a doll? Shenka rolled her eyes. Wow, I didn't realize your internal thoughts. We're actually that low-key degenerate. Hey, I was just asking a casual question. After all, that happens to be a masterpiece that I personally brought to life. I just want to gather some raw, direct user feedback. But honestly, would it be possible for me to tour your family's factory? Witnessing a masterpiece transition from blueprint to physical reality sounds incredibly fascinating. Trust me, a manufacturing plant is nothing special. Shinka's face flushed crimson, looking both fiercely embarrassed and annoyed. She lunged forward and viciously pinched Jibada's arm. Swatting his hand away, she instantly accelerated her pace and bolted ahead, leaving behind a thoroughly flustered and panicked silhouette. Geez, I was just a little curious. Why the over-the-top reaction? She's not cute at all when she's mad. Yo, for today's core training segment, let's team up to Z. I'll sit on your ankles for sit-ups, and guarantee you won't be able to slack off. Just as Jibada was about to agree, his gaze swept across the crowded athletic field, spotting Shinka. She was standing completely isolated beneath the shade of a parasol tree, with absolutely no one stepping up to partner with her. Coach Wang urged the class forward. Hey, how about the two of us pair up for this drill? A brief flash of genuine surprise flickered through Shinka's eyes, before she gave a soft, quiet nod of approval. The two of them settled onto an exercise mat at the edge of the sports field. Jibada lay flat on his back, locking his hands firmly behind his head, while Shinka knelt down at his feet. Why exactly are you helping me out? Are you secretly trying to hit on me or make a move? Don't you already have a gorgeous girlfriend at home? Shinka extended both her hands, gently applying pressure down onto Jibada's shins. Just because I have a girlfriend doesn't mean I'm legally barred from making regular female friends, right? Aren't the two of us already buddies? Knowing damn well you have a girlfriend, yet still actively striking up smooth conversations with other girls. You are definitely a total player, Jibada. Shinka shot a glare at him, her eyes holding a complex mix of emotions. Jibada blushed, lowering his voice to a faint murmur. That's why I was just curious. Have you ever actually personally assembled one of those dolls with your own hands before? I'm literally going to murder you. Her face burning red, Shinka fiercely dug her nails into Jibada's thigh, her expression a volatile mix of deep embarrassment and rage. My bad. Stop pinching. Let's see if you ever dare to use those smooth lines on a girl again. I honestly have no idea how your girlfriend tolerates a guy like you. Jibada frantically apologized, keeping his mouth shut as he powered through his core sit-ups. Later that evening, Jibada carried his backpack toward the residential complex gates. He immediately sensed that the local atmosphere felt extraordinarily bizarre. The neighborhood elders gathered beneath the ancient banyan tree were whispering frantically amongst themselves. Jibada's chest violently tightened. He accelerated into a full sprint, bolting into his building as the elevator slowly ascended. His heart pounded erratically against his ribs as a profound sense of dread washed over him. With a sharp chime, the elevator doors slid open at his floor. The moment the apartment door cracked open slightly, a barrage of highly suggestive, explicit groans filled his ears. Jibada launched himself out of the elevator cab, fumbling frantically with his keys as he burst inside, charging straight toward the master bedroom. The very next second, he was completely frozen in absolute shock. Xiaolan and Xiaoling were huddled together, one on the left and one on the right, completely locked into Yuan's glowing display screen, where the on-screen action was escalating dramatically. Master is finally home. Hey, Master, do you want to join in and watch this with us? You wicked Master, you. Do you want to experiment with this exact position with Xiaoling tonight? She playfully tapped a close-up frame on the digital interface. Meanwhile, his smartphone was vibrating like crazy, as frantic notifications from the neighborhood group chat flooded the screen. Unit 1203. Could you please give a rest already? My child is trying to do homework. Control your volume. Command acknowledged. Master, I have successfully terminated the server connections and active background processes. Ugh, Master, you are such an absolute buzzkill. It was just getting to the absolute best part of that dynamic pose. Xiaoling genuinely doesn't get why you're mad, Master. We were simply conducting educational research. The Tinkin told us that you actively browse this platform all the time, saying the advanced techniques shown are top tier and that we should master them to better serve you in the future. Listen to me. you are absolutely forbidden from accessing those platforms on your own ever again. Even if you want to watch something, you must wait until I am present. And absolutely, never blast the audio like that. Wait, isn't this just standard, healthy anatomical education? 1925 maxing out the volume is the only way to pick up on the finer technical details. Only by turning up the volume can you catch every subtle detail. Besides, the tin can said Master loves watching it too. To sum it up, Master clearly despises high volume. So next time, we'll just keep it down or use wireless earbuds instead. Xiaoling fully understands. Now, from now on, I'll make sure the tin can keeps the audio entirely muted. Xiaoling clasped her hands together in realization, putting on an angelic, obedient front. Then, keeping her body fluid, she executed a sudden, nimble spring straight into Jiba Da's personal space. Master, you've already shared plenty of intimacy with my sister, so according to the proper protocol, it's officially my turn to have my vital demonic energy fully replenished. Or, does Master secretly prefer a spectacular double session with both of us together? Xiaoling leaned in closer, whispering directly into Jiba Da's ear, before her tiny, sharp fangs gently nipped at his earlobe. We will discuss that exact matter at a later time. Xiaolang, we're running out of time. Quick, go change your clothes so we can head out. Xiaolan eagerly chirped her compliance. Right there in front of the two of them, she casually shed her casual attire, folding it neatly. As she began browsing for a fresh outfit, Ziba,